Hello, welcome back to Charmed Persons. Thank you for joining us. If you weren't here before the break, just know that Atticus had to leave for the rest of the session, but he will be back next week. Also, hi Burton. Don't know if you're still here, but hello.
Hi, Borton.
And Boyden. All right. Well, without further any ado, let's get back into it. You guys have continued your travels after being thrust back into the cold wilderness, leaving the mansion, and deciding to head in the general direction of the Grey Tip Vanguards.
Did I gain any knowledge from my brief reading about the pistol? Because I was like reading in the background, and then Xavier talked, and I smashed it. Did I learn anything from what I read?
I want to say no, but what I will say is the one thing that you did learn that I'll save you from is that he did not finish the rifle.
Cool.
It is not something you want to try to fire.
Great.
But you also don't have it anymore anyway. But
yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, if you would have tried firing, it would have backfired on you.
I would have been.
That would have been hilarious.
So you did learn that much from your brief time of reading it.
I still don't know how to load it or what to do with it.
You also read the word load. So next time you take a chance to look at the guns, you think you might be able to figure it out with your load.
Why? I hate everyone.
Guys, what is happening?
No.
It's a simple word. It's an L, an O, an A, and a D. It's a big old mess. And so we are continuing the traveling. Yeah, so...
We're all part of the problem. We're all the problem.
It's true. It's
I unhappy with the vote to go to the Great Tip Vanguards, but committed in my deep personal decisions to follow this group. I would like to
stop the whole way.
I'm gonna pout. I would like to, and Zach, we can integrate this as much as little as you want, but as we're going towards the Great Tip Vanguards, I would like to see if I can lightly track to see if I can spot dragon stuff and what direction that would be as well.
For sure. I will kind of give you a summary of what you were able to find towards the end of the trip. Okay. Does anyone else do anything of particular note as you were traveling after the mansion? If the answer is no, that's fine.
If there's time, I would look at the guns again.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. While you're looking at the guns, you do figure out that you need to load them. You know that there is enough gunpowder in each gun for each gun to be... You guess for each gun to be used for a full chamber each, so 4 shots each. But after that, you would need to get gunpowder. You don't have any. But yeah, you feel like you're able to try them out if you want to.
Yeah. Do I need to... Is there any statistics I should know now?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, actually. They're very simple. They're simple statistically, complex in make. But you just use your dexterity mod, their dexterity weapons. I would not count you proficient in it yet, so don't add your proficiency bonus. It's just your dexterity mod. And then if you hit, it's just 1d8 plus your dexterity mod of damage.
Got it. I wrote 18, not 1d8.
And they can each be fired 4 times before needing a reload. So pretty simple statistic-wise.
Cool.
But well utilized when in the hands of a fighter that has multiple attacks.
Right.
Anything else anybody wants to do on your way?
Atticus says, I'm not going to talk. And then...
Yeah, Atticus must have caught what Rev had and is real sleepy and just he needs to rest for most of the trip.
We should look into this, you guys.
Yeah, you all have mono. Yeah, Rev and Atticus shared a Coke can.
They both got mono. They're just really sleepy.
Omnicroms.
I would try to talk with Elliot in Learn Celestial, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I could teach you that.
I already knew Abyssal from
Yeah,
from,
I will say,
Nice.
that's probably something, especially when I was controlling Rev as you left, like you might have just been like doing
Right.
that throughout your trip. So
Yeah.
I will say, throughout this whole trip, as you guys are traveling throughout the day, once you reach either the base of the Great Tip Mountains or the Great Tip Vanguards, you will be proficient in Celestial.
Yeah.
Elliot is the Duolingo
Nice.
owl.
Because
Yeah.
that will have been,
Yes.
because if you do it during the days that you travel, that would have been almost a week or just at a week of full on lessons all day. So yeah, I would say that at least gets you proficient enough so that you can get by. You know,
Yeah.
might be certain things that might be hard to read a full book or something like that. But
Sure.
so yeah, as you guys, oh no, sorry, Kelvin, go ahead.
Yeah, it's really up to either Ray or Avra because Kelfie's not an instigator for conversations, but she
Yeah.
knows at separate times she's needed to talk to either or both of them.
Okay.
And so she'll just be like giving like kind of awkward looks around, like while they're just like packing up and getting ready. I'm just like, are we good? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, if Abra
wanna-
wants,
Nope,
if Abra
okay.
notices that, I'll let Abra notice that. But I'm gonna say that Ray's a little frustrated and busy flying around on Tiny looking for
Fair.
signs.
Yeah, I would guess Ava definitely notices, and either before we leave or maybe just like while we're like on our way, just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. So I read your note
Yeah.
that and then you were asleep, so I didn't want to like wake you up at that time, and then
Yeah.
like Farrah almost died and stuff. So
Yeah, that was a lot.
yeah. But I didn't want to not like get back to it and talk to you about it because I really appreciated the note and stuff. But so I've had like 3 years to kind of decipher everything that's happened to me.
For sure.
And I think that was actually like super needed to like be able to kind of continue with this adventure and not kind of fall apart. So I think that was like really actually good for me. So but I know that's also probably hard since it just happened for you to think that like I'm okay with some of the stuff that happened because it's not been 3 years for you, which is a weird thing. But so I just want to start with that. And then I just want to say that like I really appreciate you and how you've taken care of me and have tried to bin what I needed. And I think I was resistant to think I needed a family because I thought I still had one. Because for so long, my mom was my only family, and so that's what I kind of put my hope in, that she was always my family. And not that I didn't make a lot of friends, that I didn't consider you guys really, really close friends, but
yeah,
once that was kind of ripped out from under me, I realized that one, I didn't necessarily need a mom. Like, a family doesn't have to be a mom, a dad, and that's their family. It can be whatever you kind of need and whatever you find. And so, yeah, I mean, I've kind of always looked at you as a big sister, and I've never really had a big sister, but that sounds really nice to have. So, if you're still like wanting to kind of be that, I don't know if you have to like ask someone to be your big sister, but that's kind of yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I know what it's like to not have any family or to realize that you don't have any family, and I feel like we'll always be family.
Yeah, even Elburn as like the mean asshole uncle, you know, he's still family, but
Yeah, we don't always have to keep in touch.
right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I kind of wanted to talk to you that I've been thinking more and more about is just I don't know how much you know about like these great ones and everything that went down with that whole thing. I don't know a lot about it, but now I'm kind of I know we're all like attached to them.
Yeah.
But like with the Theed and everything, I've never really like thought about it because it was just like a weird thing that happened and then that was it for me. But now that like they've come to you and now they're sending a Theed to help me and stuff, what do you know about them?
What can I make? What would I?
What do I know about them?
History check. And I also would want to like try to think about if I have any books in my book bag.
I ate them.
That's so mean. 24.
24. The Great Ones are taught quite a bit in early history. You have that general book of like the almost like encyclopedia type thing of Erubrion
Yeah.
that would definitely have a passage, but you don't have a book of just solely on the Great Ones. But 24, what you know is that the Great Ones are the creators of this world. The Great Ones are the ones that formed the land and brought forth most of the natural creatures on this planet. They also bore the Great Children. The Great Children were a little less benevolent and a little bit more, for lack of a better term, emotional than their parents, the Great Ones. They had more humanoid-like tendencies, meaning that they would like to prove themselves to one another, and so through doing that, the Great Children created the gods and goddesses that you know of. And with the help of those gods and goddesses, also created the various races of Erubrion. These races of Erubrion immediately started warring with one another and causing a lot of destruction to the mortal plane, which the Great Ones did not like. And so they sent forth certain monstrosities to help cull the populations that their great children had created. Those monsters being stuff like the monstrosities and dragons and stuff that you run into. And then the Great Ones left the mortal plane because they were sick of seeing what they had created destroyed, but they weren't willing to destroy their own great children. And so they left the mortal plane, creating the various other planes of existence, some of those being the elemental planes. And then what you found out from those books is that the Colossals were created to protect those planes from the mortal plane. As you are sitting there and talking to Kelpie about all that and just kind of spewing that, general world knowledge, it kind of comes to you that if the Great Ones are the ones that are talking to you and helping you, but the Colossals are what they created to protect the elemental planes, that must mean that somehow the Great Ones have lost control over the Colossals.
Okay. So I would share that.
Wow. That's crazy that we're being talked to by like things that created the gods.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure what they want from us. All I know is we're supposed to stay together, and that's how we're gonna do this. But I don't know what I'm doing any more than you do.
I've not, had the same connection with, the Great One, like my orb patron, as I did, with like Demetrius. I haven't tried communicating with them so much as I did like that. I can maybe try to get a sense from them more. I think that they've been quiet as a, choice since they first grabbed hold of all of us in that moment back in the square.
Yeah.
But it seems, I don't know, like there's that same mission of protecting Erubrion is still here.
And as an interesting matter of point, when I was in the Feywild, like everyone was just like happy to be there. And Athene says that's because I think he said that the great children aren't in the Feywild. They're not a part of it. They haven't touched it. And so that's why it's so peaceful and nice there. So if they are the reason that like all these wars and craziness have happened, I hope we don't ever run into those guys.
I think that we're at a clear crossroads right now, and we can't really figure out where to go next. And what if we all sat together and tried to reach out and find some direction?
Yeah, that might be good. They're the ones that brought us together, so if together we try to contact them, maybe they'll give us some guidance on what to do, because there's a lot of stuff happening and a lot of fires to put out, literally. So
We have to sing Kumbaya to do that, because I will not. Do
I really hope not.
I don't sing that anymore.
I'm loving this new character development. Loving it.
We've straight up like lost people close to us, seen people skinned alive, and the probably most sad thing that's happened is what just came out of his fucking
Yeah.
Yep.
Pharaoh losing his ignorance is bliss attitude is for sure sad.
He lost his spirit.
Death will do that.
Death will do that.
So yeah, sorry,
I would try to get everybody together.
Okay, so yeah. So what I'll say is, Ray, as you have been traveling part of the day on top of Tiny and then part of the day just with the group, you were able to see a couple of things. Actually, roll a perception check at advantage.
Yay! I haven't rolled today.
Yeah, I just now realized I was about to just give you a bunch of stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you weren't very good at it.
You said at advantage.
Yes, yeah, you're tracking a dragon.
Dragon.
Dragon is your favorite enemy, correct?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. But you're a Drake Warden, so it doesn't
No.
matter anyway.
Well, I didn't want it to be my favorite enemy because I want it to be my friend.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. It's your favorite. It's just your favorite.
Yeah. It's like when you. So I got a 15.
15. All right. So what you notice is you first notice in the distance. You had to fly a good amount ahead to notice it. But in the distance, at the base of the closest Great Tip Mountain, in the woods, you see several plumes of smoke that you know to be originating from the Great Tip Vanguard HQ. So you spot the HQ, you see that it's there, you see that people must be there because the smoke is billowing. So you see all of that. As far as dragon trails are concerned,
Dragon trails.
Dragon trails.
you do every once in a while see deep grooves in the ground, especially as you get closer to the mountain, presumably from where the dragon has hunted and swooped down and grabbed a creature or a livestock of some sort before going back out into the air. With the 15, you're able to pinpoint a general direction where those like grooves in the ground are getting closer to. So you definitely have a direction to start looking for the dragon, but other than that, you don't really get much.
What would that direction be?
So you are heading directly east, and you're getting like a kind of northeast direction from these. The HQ is directly east, or you could head a little bit northeast to head more towards the dragon.
Cool.
So you kind of relay all that to everybody as you all gather up for camp that night.
Can I? Sorry,
ahead.
I just want to say I tell them that I about the HQ and the gray tips because that's what they want to hear. I don't tell them about the dragon.
Okay.
Atticus is
noted.
too stunned to speak about that.
Atticus is too. The woman was too stunned to speak. Everybody is gathered. Ray says the stuff that she notices where the HQ is and that people must be there. And then apparently Avra tells all of you to gather around.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere.
What do you say, Avra? What do you do to get everybody gathered up?
We were just talking over here about I would relay everything that I relayed to Kelfie and Rev about the Great Ones and the just all of that.
Yeah.
I think it would be worthwhile for all of us to sit together and just try to reach out and get some direction. We're being pulled in a lot of directions right now, and it seems like we're all getting a little bit of information from them sometimes, but not a full picture. What do you think?
Very loud fire.
I don't know why this mysterious creature kept me alive. I mean, it feels significant.
It's kept us all, yeah. Alive at one point in time. It's kept me. I mean, attached to my source of magic.
Pharaoh and I literally switched bodies the other day, so I feel like anything's worth a shot.
I died, so yeah, that would be helpful if I could get answers on that.
Yeah, I think.
Don't walk into storms, I think is the.
I mean, yeah, that's
it wasn't quite a mysterious death.
They're clearly pulling the strings in some way, not necessarily bad, but also we don't know that for sure. Besides them saving us, so I think some guidance is. Like, should we be hunting these dragons individually or go straight to the source and go to that icy place? And if we stop something there, did the dragons just turn back into the gems anyway, you know?
Yeah. I think it's worth reaching out.
All right.
So we're all sitting in a circle, right?
You all gather around.
I initially don't join because I still don't understand like what their little connection thing is. So like I just am, and not like in a malicious like I know belong your way, but I'm just like oh, all right.
I would venture to say that Atticus walks over to you, and he would probably go like, you're a part of this too, right?
Oh, like, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Come on.
What if I mess it up?
You won't mess it up. And Elbert goes like, there's no way you can mess it up. I literally died. Pharaoh was probably dead. We've all done weird. Come on.
They told me to keep everyone together, not to keep everyone but Ray together.
And
that's true.
And then Atticus says, that's it. That's it. Vow of silence with me. Sorry.
Okay.
And if we have a connection, then I don't think you're not part of this either.
Elbert takes your hand as you get closer and just like moves you in a little bit more.
As you all grab hands, as soon as everyone is connected within the circle, your vision goes black.
It's morphin' time. Sorry.
Oh man.
Anyway.
All right. Thank you for joining us this week on classic joke. All right, so your vision goes black and you see nothing. This is a little bit not the song I wanted to play.
Super spooky though.
It is spooky, but I was looking more so for this.
Feeling the awe of deities in the sense of pure dread.
Catholicism?
That is correct. Or that's shame.
Your vision is black,
Ka-tang.
and all of a sudden, you just see a bright orb of light. But this time it is not in the plane of black that you are used to seeing it in. It is in a plane of white. White surrounds this giant giant orb of just pure energy and light, and all of you are seeing this simultaneously. The orb then begins to separate into multiple orbs, multiple large orbs, until it's hard to see a number because they're swirling around one another, maybe anywhere between 6 to 8, maybe even upwards of 10 giant orbs of energy and light swirling around one another. These orbs then, your vision zooms away from the orbs, and as it does, the land of Erubrion forms itself in front of you, almost as if as you pass over the land, it forms underneath you grassy plains and rocky mountains and roaring seas form underneath you as you fly backward, flying by and behind, or back from these orbs of light that at this distance just coalesce into a shining sun that rises in the sky as you just see the world of Erubrion. And then, as if a time lapse had taken place, you see the rising of mountains and trees and the flowings of rivers creating canyons, and you see various wildlife popping up, some creatures that you've only read about in books that you see roaming the earth before morphing and evolving into something else. And then you, as if you're zoomed out from the entire globe, you see cities start emerging. And through these cities, you start seeing plumes of smoke, and you see the land around these cities become desolate and destroyed, and you zoom in and you see this ancient army of elves, an ancient army of humans fighting each other, and it's armor that you've never seen before. It's symbols and regal symbolry that you've never seen before, except maybe in ancient tomes. As the armies continue to coalesce, and then it zooms back out, and you zoom in on another city that is chopping down wood and stripping it of its. If someone can mute, someone's running into their mic a lot. Of logs being stripped of their branches and leaves, and the city completely destroying the wildlife around them. You zoom back out and you see another time lapse take place, and you see from the giant orb of the sun in the sky, you see a bunch of tiny rays, almost as if like a machine gun was being fired from the sun itself. These just like rays of light shooting down from the sun and hitting the ground and becoming these monstrosities that still roam Erubrion today. And the time lapse keeps continuing, and you see these cities and these armies slowly dissipate and become destroyed before evolving and moving and becoming the kingdoms and the empires of Erubrion that you know today, or at least the bare beginnings of them. And time keeps moving, the land keeps changing all around you, and suddenly you zoom in immensely towards one tower. One large tower filled with sandstone, made on sandstone, and you see a familiar figure of Elburn, the Archmage of Devis, completing his ritual that he did over 1,000 years ago. You see the destruction of Devis happen before you, as Elburn slowly falls down in this protected globe of invulnerability. He lands down on the ground completely untouched. He falls to his hands and knees before emitting himself upward, almost as if something from his chest drags him forward. And you see a beam of light emit from Elburn's chest and fly through the air. But it's not what you thought at first. It's not leaving Elburn's chest, it's entering Elburn's chest. It's coming from the giant orb of sun in the sky, and the beam of light finishes entering Elburn's chest, and he falls to the ground. And you zoom back out, and you fly over the land some more until you see another battle taking place. This time with symbols that you're familiar with. The kingdom of Faluin and the empire of Stagham battling each other on the open fields. You zoom in and you see a young Pharaoh Ganondel currently panicking on the battlefield, running from soldier to soldier as he places his hands on them, healing them of the wounds that they have received in the battle. Suddenly you see a large Goliath man standing on the battle, covered in Stagham armor. He takes his large axe and swings it at Pharaoh, sending him flying about 5 to 6 feet, rolling on the ground before landing on his back upright, a bloody scar appearing across his face. In that moment, a beam of light slams into Pharaoh's chest as it rises slightly, once again almost seemingly coming from the sun above, before it finishes and enters Pharaoh's chest completely, and he falls to the ground unconscious. You zoom back out, and the landscape continues to change in front of you, and then you go into a industrial type city that looks quite familiar. There's a young boy running through the streets, currently trying to dodge various guards who are running after him. It seems that he grabbed something that he shouldn't have grabbed, and he's trying to hide it, and he's running around. And you see him turn this corner, and as soon as he turns this corner and hides behind this barrel, he's lifted up in the air as a beam of light strikes his chest and enters into his body before he falls down and then falls asleep, unknown, unaware of what happened to him. You zoom back out and you fly across the land yet again before entering into a small town. And from high above, you see a large mass of people running after a smaller mass of people. As you zoom down and you see a young Atticus of Arcona running from the town of Steepcliff with his family. The entire town of Steepcliff filled with angry voices and shouting words as they are chasing the family away. Atticus turns to look back at the people who are chasing after him, and yet again a light enters his chest before he falls to the ground, needing to be helped by his family as they continue their journey. You zoom back out and find yourself shifting into a wooded area. And you see something interesting. You see a ball of light floating through the woods. And you see a young girl, and she's calling out for her mother, and you immediately recognize it as a young Kelpie. And then with the zoomed out vision that you have, it's easy to spot an almost highlighted Ray, a young Ray, as she stands in the trees above Kelpie about 100 feet away. The two of them connected while not knowing. The ball of light enters between the two of them, and something that you haven't seen happens before. The ball of light splits, just as the giant orbs of light did at the very beginning of this vision. One of them enters Kelpie, who falls to the ground unconscious. one of them shoots up and enters Ray, who then falls asleep on the branch that she is on. Kelpie is then approached by several wood elf and other type of woodland races, all dressed in created fauna or flora type garbs. You assume to be the Greenleafs as they lift her up. And vision swirls back out again, and you find yourself in the city of Stagham. And you see a young Avra currently leaning over a book, studying as hard as she can. And a vision that Avra and Ray have not seen in a very long time, and something that the rest of you have never seen other than Ben and other than Pharaoh and Kelpie, is Benjamin Firestar, as he appears over Avra's shoulder and leans down and whispers something into her ear. And for the first moment, she kind of takes her focus off of the studies and just kind of barely looks over her shoulder and laughs with Ben, as he then just rubs his hand through her hair slightly before walking away. Ray watches Ben as he walks away, and as she's looking at him, the white light enters her chest, and as it finishes, she falls down asleep on the book in front of her. The vision shifts back out, and it shifts back in to a deep, dark, cavernous area, one that looks very familiar to you, Elburn, as Pildor Swiftdream currently is rifling through. You see Pildor Swiftdream lying on a table. He's completely naked except for a cloth over his midsection. He seems to be strapped to this table. He is unmoving and unbreathing until a moment passes and he inhales sharply as the clone of Xavier accepts the soul from the Pildor that you slew in Devis. And you see him curse himself and release himself from the table and throw some emerald robes on before immediately going in and rummaging over some books. And then the vision zooms back out slightly and then follows a tunnel of this cavern. And it slides through a rocky, naturally made tunnel before it comes to a large area with 4 chambers. And above each chamber are the words Kraken, Smoke Dragon, Golem, and Scorpion. The paths to the Smoke Dragon and the paths to the Kraken are lit, as something seems to be shining on behind where those tunnels end. The other 2 tunnels are currently dark. The vision shifts back out, and this time you're standing above all of Erubrion. You shift your vision to the sun shining above, and it starts to dim and shade as a dark round object covers it like an eclipse. And you look back down on the land, and the land that you once saw is completely desolate and destroyed in certain places and smoking and fiery. And even from as high up as you are, you see a giant mountain man currently just trudging through the land, leaving craters as he walks. In the distant deserts, you see a rumbling mass as a giant scorpion made of blackness and fire erupts from the sand. You see a large whirlpool in the ocean underneath you that ends in a giant sharp beak with writhing tentacles. You see in the air, flying right towards you, a huge black cloud that beats its wings and leaves behind a trail of embers and ash as the smoke dragon flies above all of Erubrion. Your vision zooms in once again to the tip of a mountain where you see a red, white, blue, and green dragon all clinging to the top of a mountain, roaring, releasing their elemental weapons to the sky. At the base of this mountain, you see hundreds and thousands of bodies. And standing at the base of this mountain, you see 7 individuals. You see a scarred individual, completely covered in scars that are self-made, only wearing a vest and slacks, really allowing the flesh and the scars to be visible. Their head completely shaven, their elf ears pointing, one of them missing the tip of it. You see a short-statured individual, shorter statured individual, currently kind of in a hunch, dressed in all black, with a long black coat and black leathery wings that extend from this creature's back, and a wide-brimmed black hat that covers any facial features. You see a young child dragon, even though you do not know, you immediately know, just to the benefits of this vision, that it is a offspring of 2 of the ancient dragons above. And on top of that dragon, you see a fearsome woman with long brown hair and a bow made completely of bone that she currently has cocked as she is smirking, looking out at the dead bodies. You see a large man bulging with muscle, 2 long swords in his hand, covered in blood. Not only the swords, but him himself. Thick facial hair that is just drooping off of his face and covered in blood. You see another individual, long purple robes, shriveled, burnt skin on their hands, a very gaunt face with long hair, no eyes in their sockets, the vision of undead flesh as the lich that they are. Then you see another person standing next to this individual, deep blue robes, dark blue hair, eyes of pure white, and from those eyes of white, deep black veins coursing their way through this woman's body. And then you see a large beast of pure nightmare and horror as this 6-legged furry creature roars next to these 6 individuals, with the long toothy jaw protruding underneath, as the realization hits you that these 7 individuals are the 7 members of the Lake Peak 7, having fallen down a path that is still possible. The scarred individual being Pharaoh, giving in to his hatred of himself, carving himself up to be the disgusting monster that he sees himself to be. Rey joining the dragons, choosing her passion over the family that she had once joined, choosing power and the sheer size and power of this monster over anything else. Avra letting the darkness of the magic transform her just as it did Elburn. And speaking of Elburn, becoming the lich that he becomes himself as he seeks godhood still now. Rev re-embracing Demetrius has become the undead vampire beast that he has the possibility of still yet becoming, and Kelpie just transforming into a dark creature that even she has yet to see herself, but that just exudes pain and suffering, and Atticus becoming the rage-filled murderer that he has the possibility of becoming. You all see these paths laid out ahead of you. And then, finally, you look back up at the sun above you, and you hear the voice that you have not heard in a long time. This is the path that Erubrion is set on. We need the 7 of you to find your ways and save the world. If you do not find the truth and light within one another, you will destroy this place. Your vision fades to white, fades to black, and then the coldness of the night air surrounds you again as you are all gathered with one another, hands in a circle.
So we all want to like put our foot on the gas in that direction, right?
That was a lot.
I'm not gonna say
What'd you say, Elburn?
you.
I just said I pull out butt water. Go ahead. I immediately went and just started.
Yeah, I take some and
I will say, by the way, something I didn't say, in those hundreds and thousands of bodies were pretty much anyone you've ever known.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, been there, done that, Albert, right?
Literally watched it again. I literally had
This
to
is-
watch it again.
I
You all were
know.
like, oh, you were just studying, and that was cute. Oh, you saw each other. That's nice. And they're like, hey, remember genocide? I'm like, oh, yeah, no worries.
Some of us have darker pasts than others.
So
Did anyone catch the gods' names during that?
I don't think we asked.
There wasn't much to say.
Yeah, they didn't say much. It was a lot of seeing.
It was like a movie.
Yeah.
I think they're from before when gods had names.
Did they not?
So does this?
I don't know.
do
I
you
will
think
say,
this
with all the
means-
history that Avra knows, she has never, there is, as far as all of you know, in recorded history, there has never been a name for the Great Ones. They have just been collectively referred to as the Great Ones.
Too much about water.
I would relay that.
Well, it didn't really tell us what to do.
I mean, I
So-
feel
Just
like
said
that
what
means we
not to
should
do.
kill the
Yeah.
dragon.
Kill the dragon.
We should kill the dragon.
I feel like the dragons were a big part of that.
Yeah, and that's the closest
True.
thing. We have a to-do list. Knock it quickly off the to-do list.
Yeah.
If we do kill the dragons, though, I will not get that cool dragon. Right? Are we? Is that what we're?
I mean,
You
it
still
kind of
have
seems like
tiny.
that's not what we're supposed to do. I mean, you might still get, tiny, just like super cool, but I feel like
Yeah.
that was the like, hey,
Like a
don't do
jacked
this.
up tiny.
Yeah.
Do you think that was tiny, or do you think that was another?
It was not Tiny. Tiny was dead.
Yay!
Tiny was one
Was
of the dead
dead.
bodies. He was one of the dead bodies.
Oh.
Great. Nope. I don't want this.
Changed my mind.
I pull out like a permanent marker.
That was
and
the
I
big
say,
part that I had
"Oh,
planned to
I'm
say
Tiny
to you
Skin."
guys that I literally just forgot to say.
Okay. Well, Tiny's dead, so let's not do that.
Yeah,
Not too
I
bad.
think
Cool.
so. I mean, it's still valid if people still want to go to the vanguards for help in killing the dragon, but I think yes, these dragons should maybe be our priority if we can't kill, the giant scorpion yet, because I don't even know about that.
I think that
I think the dragons are.
Yeah, we disagree about the vanguards, don't we? And like the whole thing was to stick together and to get through this together. So maybe we just go to the dragons.
Atticus, does this change your focus at all?
Did you just sleep through all of that, Atticus?
No. I mean, I think that, whatever help we can get would be good, but, if the group's outvoted me, the group's outvoted me.
That was a really good impression.
We also.
So like.
I mean, it's clear. Can I do a quick, I don't know what check I would do, but is that? I think that cavern is the cavern that we did that one shot at.
Oh.
It is the cavern that you scryed on for Pildor,
okay.
but other than that, you've never seen that before.
Okay, got it.
Also, we would definitely not know.
Yeah.
Can I ask for a clarification?
Of course, it was a lot of info.
In that scenario, because it was kind of going from the beginning to the end of the closest that we are.
Yeah.
With a little difference between Kelpie and I being at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But are we
not only at the same time, but have the same light? You don't know what that means, but
so
yeah, we should talk about
Your
it.
orb sisters.
Oh my god, I both saw one. Are we to believe that the reincarnation of Pildor into Xavier happened when we killed Xavier?
Yeah, you kind of
with the burn hands.
For sure. Yeah, I'll let you know that was that's the vibe that you get from that situation. Is that's him directly after being killed by you guys during that attack.
Cool. So we did kill him, but bitches
But he
reincarnated.
had a clone. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think he has more than one clone. Are we gonna have to kill this guy 8
He has
times?
several of those.
Avra does know that it takes 120 days to make a clone.
Takes 120 days to make a clone.
Yeah, but
Whoa.
He seems pretty old though.
It has not been.
Yeah.
It has not been 120 days.
you can only have one clone at a time.
Yes.
And then you're
No, you can have mini clones, but it just takes 120 days. to
But we're saying that he was preparing.
He's
Right,
well
he
on his
could've
way
been
to make
preparing
his
for who knows how
35th
long.
clone.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if we shouldn't just hunt him down instead of going for
The dragon.
I think if we can eliminate one of his biggest weapons and we're very close to it, then why wouldn't we?
We're
But
not.
he wasn't
There
at the
are.
end.
We're
There
close
are
to the
other
dragon.
dragons. Yeah,
She's saying if one of them is gone,
Yeah.
then that's one less dragon he has.
And
We're gonna
Pildor
have to
wasn't
fight
at
these
the end.
dragons eventually.
one of
I think-
5.
This is like the great beasts in Breath of the Wild. Just need. The more we take out, the easier the fight against
Right.
him. will
There's
be.
probably some puzzles inside of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pildor also wasn't
Solve some
at that
riddles.
end scene. What? Right? We didn't see him there.
Pildor.
Not that you
He
saw.
seems like a pawn, and the things that are a pawn to get the dragons to do their thing. So if he's not that important, and we keep focusing on him,
Just because you did not
Maybe
see
that's
him does
just
not
right.
mean he's a part of the vision.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but that's what Kelpie's saying.
I know. I just wanted to. I know.
I mean,
Look, I think
I think
I-
it's something that, like, either way, like taking steps in the directions of removing these dragons from the field is beneficial.
I think so too. I think we're in a place where we need to do something, and this is what we're closest to.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could track the dragon.
I would know if we got within 1,000 feet of him. If we think we're close, I can help with that.
You definitely don't think
Yeah.
you're within 1,000 feet.
Well, yes, but what?
No, I
Like,
was,
once
I was
we
letting
get
Ray.
there.
I was letting Ray know.
Oh,
The
okay.
dragon
Yeah.
is over, just punched over going, "Ooh."
The
He's
dragon
like,
sticks his head into our circle.
You can do what now?
He's like, did you see me?
You just hear in the background, "Oh shit!"
Tiny echoes, like, oh.
Woohoo!
All right. I mean, I guess. I mean, we clearly don't have time to waste, so we can avoid the abyss we will apparently create for ourselves if we don't stick on this path. I'd like to know what that divine light was inside each and every one of us.
For sure.
It was our life's energy.
We were already alive before then.
I don't think that's it, because I was pretty alive in that moment that we saw that definitely nothing bad happened.
It seems like they came to you in formative moments.
Wow.
It almost as if something plot-wise.
Nah.
I mean, maybe it's as simple as just that's our connection with the Great Ones. And so we've been literally destined for this ever since those moments. And it just took us all actually finding each other to make it like a thing, you know?
Can I do an insight check on myself to see if I can
What?
Like, is there something that I can do to like try and feel some sort, like, we obviously were in the presence of the gods or whatever, or the great ones or whatever, but just like to see if I can sense some like more foreign presence, foreign energy inside that I haven't necessarily been attuned to before. Now that
Like, can you activate your spiritual energy?
Tap into.
Can I stroke my chi? Is what I'm asking.
Make
And send them all of us?
a wisdom check.
What? Why am I not using that dice? Get the fuck out of here. 16.
There is something inside of you that is not you.
Oh.
But it's not inherently bad either.
Okay, but I can feel that it is there now that I have seen it and
Yeah.
seen it within. Okay.
Yeah. It almost feels. I would say. You know that feeling that you get the morning before you like are going to go to like an amusement park, like something really exciting is about to happen the next day, and that just like feeling of excitement or like anxiousness that you get in the pit of your stomach when you try to think about whatever is inside of you, like that's the feeling that you get, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's joy.
I look at the group and I don't know. I just kind of looked into myself. I know that's strange sounding, but like I can feel what I saw. Is anybody else like in that place, or am I just kind of crazy in this moment?
I'm gonna look at Kelfie and be like, did we have the same one?
That's
Should
what
we what does that mean?
I don't know. I don't even know what having just one means, let alone to have the same one in two people.
And I'm gonna like just very confusedly look at her and then just like scoop her up and like hug her. But like very like scientifically. It's not it's not emotional, it's just
It's a
like
scientific hug.
When you do that, what are you thinking?
what am I thinking? I'm thinking like, is there a way that like those two pieces can come together to be a whole again?
What do you think you are thinking? Like actively. Like what is your like if you like put it in a sentence, in a like in character sentence.
Oh god.
Like are you thinking, well, like what I'm saying is like, does Ray say, I wonder what this is gonna do? Like literally, like what are you thinking? Like the thought that you were thinking.
I literally be like, puzzle pieces.
Okay. So as soon as you do that, Kelpie, you hear in your mind, puzzle pieces.
My eyes just go really wide and I look at her.
And I don't. Do I know?
No.
Do I feel that? No.
2-person brain trust.
Did you? You didn't say that out loud, did you?
It's more than that.
What?
You didn't say puzzle pieces.
What?
Puzzle pieces. Did you say that out loud?
No. Did not say that. No.
I heard it.
Did you hear me?
I heard it, and I'll just
And I
squeeze her
squeezed
harder.
And your like legs are dangling too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're like fully out.
As the two of
Amber's
you,
definitely not jealous.
as the two of you embrace and feel this connection, you discover some things. that you've never noticed before,
Oh my god.
that you've never taken advantage of, that you didn't know existed. So how
Yeah.
could you? How could you?
Yeah.
Kelpie and Ray, the two of you are able to, at any point, connect with one another's thoughts. The two of you are also, at any point, able to know the direction in which the other person is.
Oh. Oh.
Kelpie, you can communicate with, control, and summon Tiny.
Oh.
Ray,
Shit.
you get one wild shape per day.
Boy.
What does that mean?
Wild shape.
Start hugging everybody in the group.
Who
Oh
wants
my
a
God. Kelpie can summon Tiny.
Yeah, and now if
Do you want me to
if
share?
for ever
Tiny.
some reason you were to compete over control of Tiny,
Mm.
you would obviously win.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ray would win. Ray would be able to, like, if for some reason you both summoned him at the same time, he would follow his Ray's orders. But if basically the easiest way for you guys to utilize this will be for Kelpie to just give Ray an extended 3 hours of Tiny time.
Anytime.
Is the most like practical way, but then there's
Right,
other
right.
ways
Yeah.
obviously that you'll be able to utilize that as well. But yeah, you can
Okay.
communicate with him as well, Kelpie.
Everyone
And,
else is just seeing us hug like.
literally.
Yeah. We're like far away from each other's faces, like.
However, I will say, Ray, you can only wild shape once per long rest,
Once per long
and
rest.
only up to a challenge rating of 1 whenever you do it.
Okay.
That'll never increase.
That's crazy. I can't wait to read about Wild Shape.
Oh boy.
Because that doesn't usually start till Druid level 2, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
But you'll have more limits on it than others. You also can't choose you won't be able to choose any creatures that can swim or fly.
Yeah.
But you can choose any land dwelling creature of challenge rating of 1 or lower and change into that once per day.
Oh my god.
I stare at
Oh
them.
my
That's
god.
huge.
That is good.
Jesus. Wow.
Chug.
Yeah, I stare at them doing this.
I tried to find a way to combine your guys' abilities but not make anything too game breaking. So hopefully this will be okay. But I do hold the rights as a DM to be like, I gave you too much power and I need to take some back.
And you said as far as Tiny Time, like you said, it's just instead of 3 hours, it's 6 hours now for
It's
Kelpie,
it's
or-
not just like you don't just get an extended 3 hours, but all I meant by that is like a good use of it will be you can summon Tiny for the 3 hours that you normally summon him, and then Kelpie could just like double up that summoning so that you could just
Okay.
keep him for an extended. Like she can summon him, but then surrender control of him to you.
Okay, so we can do like a. Like
So
a
basically, you
short
can just
thing.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you
That's
so
how
it
it
just
went out.
allows
Oh my
you.
god, we're co-parenting Tiny.
It just allows you to have more traveling time with Tiny if you so desire.
Wow. Okay, well I'll break away from the hug and I'll be like, I'm gonna put you down now, but I love you.
I love you too. And in our
Wow.
mind thing, should we tell people about this? I feel like we should tell them, right?
I think that we should. I say in my mind thing.
Okay.
Ava's to look
And
at
then we-
Emily.
We both. around at the same time.
face, Emily's actual face just then was of like genuine anger. Like I know Emily, and I know that she was legitimately just like motherfucker.
I did all this work.
It's true. Yeah.
We at the same time exactly on cue both say the exact same thing.
We just turn and we're like, we can hear each other's thoughts now.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
we have the same light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. What does that mean?
What?
Mm.
What do it, try it. Try something, Kelpie.
try the new one of the new things.
Maybe do yeah.
I'll think really hard about Tiny and see if he appears.
You hear the familiar screech of Tiny sound off into the evening as he furls his wings out above all of you and swoops down and lands next to Kelpie, and he just rubs his head next to you.
I did that.
Oh.
I can do that now.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Quick question.
Yes.
Can I only pick one thing, or like anytime do I?
Whenever
always
you
change
do it,
to?
it's you pick whatever you want.
Just a different. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I can do this, and I will wild shape into
It doesn't have to be a
Something we've
beast.
seen. Yeah.
It has to be something you've seen. It has to be a beast.
Yeah.
Classification of beast.
I'm currently looking through challenge rating ones.
Yeah, no problem.
And
also, it doesn't.
and I
It also could be like even smaller animals. Like you could turn into like
Yeah.
a mouse or a rat or a spider or something like that.
Okay. I think I'm gonna just turn into the goofiest thing I can immediately think of because my brain is just in a whirlwind.
Uh-huh.
And I wild shape into a giant toad.
Yeah, you see Ray looking at you, and she begins to like crouch down, and her knees extend outward, and her belly becomes a bit more rotund, and her smile like widens out into this weird frown thing as she then becomes a giant toad standing right there in front
What
of
the
you.
fuck? And I stand up like that.
I'm just like pointing at Tiny and now
You
pointing
still
at her
excited
like.
about that, Elburn? You still?
And I go.
Doing a lot of confusing.
I do the little scary one too when you pick it up and it goes. Ah!
Yeah.
So it's giant, so it's like.
I'm just gonna make the executive role-playing decision for Ray that Ray shoots out her tongue and gets Elbert with it.
Beautiful.
Well, that'll come in handy fighting the dragon, right?
Oh,
For sure.
probably.
At least.
The toad?
Well, maybe not the toad. I got the toad to do something.
It could be something. I mean, now
Might
when
be
I go,
surprised.
if we need to sneak into some place and I'm like a tiny spider, then Ray can also be there, so I'm not alone.
Well, and also Gidget.
But yeah. Just if Gidget gets hurt, he just disappears, and if like we have to then like pop out of somewhere and like,
Ooh.
not that Gidget isn't, and I realized like why, and I was like, not that Gidget isn't great. I love Gidget. I can talk to Gidget now, so he would be even more useful to have around as well.
I like hop over to Ava
Ooh.
and I just look up at her and I go,
Probably down since you're a giant toad.
"Oh, I'm giant. That's right." I'll like look directly eye level with her. Just be like,
Just patch on the nose.
Yeah, well, Elliot taught me how to speak Celestial, so hola, como estas?
That's so funny.
You were all just learning new things.
Well, I basically have the equivalent of just like gas. I figured that out about myself because I just feel it inside of me.
Is it because what you eat?
I can.
Your diet's terrible. More
Yeah,
wafers.
you should.
need.
Yeah, eat more wafers, definitely.
You
I'm sure
said
those won't give you
didn't
gas.
Like the wafers, man.
But they're nutritionally sound.
It's true. If you're having tummy troubles, maybe you should eat them.
tummy troubles.
I could also make you something that might help.
Atticus could clear that up, I think, with his land hands.
Oh, he's passed.
Bam!
out.
So should we keep going, or is it
It's
nighttime?
camp. Yeah, it's camp time.
Should we go to bed?
It's napping time.
It's napping time. Watches?
Yeah, we should probably have them.
I'll take
Yeah.
a watch by myself.
No.
No.
You won't. You know what? I'm doing a watch with Pharaoh.
That's fair.
I immediately like
Hello.
because I'm slightly tipsy now. I just like grab Pharaoh by the arm and I'm like, we're watching together.
April, do
Yeah.
you want to do a watch together?
Sure, yeah.
Atticus?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, Pharaoh and Ray.
No, I said I'm
I
sleeping.
can do.
I literally.
Oh, right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Nothing happens on your watches, so if you want to have any conversations, go ahead and have
Just-
them.
Nope. That
I
seems
didn't know
pointed.
I didn't know if any conversations were wanting to be had, but nothing happens on your watches.
I do. Fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey man, how
Hey,
are
man.
like, where are you at right now?
Well, I'm with you on the watch. What do you mean? Oh, you talking like mentally?
Yeah, like emotionally, like.
Oh yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Okay, like.
I'm just kind of having second thoughts about like, you know, everything really. I don't know. This like curse thing on my forehead has kind of put into perspective a lot of things about how I want my life to go and maybe how I'm not quite fulfilling it.
Well, how do you want your life to go?
Well, I guess I don't really know anymore. I've always tried to, for the longest time, tried to be like moral compass, maybe, but it's not really working too well. You look at the state of the world,
I mean, it's definitely helped us. I would say. I mean, it's just like a mistake happened.
Yeah, but I wish it helped me.
I'm realizing as I'm talking to you in this moment, and please don't take this the wrong way, even slightly. I'm not professionally like equipped to handle this in this moment, but I can tell you that if you want to keep going down that path, take it from someone who's done 1,000 years of it. It does nothing to help. So like, stick to your. There was nothing wrong with you before. I mean, like, I gave you shit, but you're not. You don't need to lose yourself because you almost lost your life. Like, it wasn't your fault. It was someone who took advantage of somebody else in order to get to you. There's nothing wrong with it. We've got scars. I've got scars on me. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm not very charismatic.
Yeah. You should have had that crown.
Last time I was near power, that was not.
Yeah, actually,
great.
sorry, I retract that statement. But
I do wish
I
I had
genuinely,
that.
I really appreciate your words. I'm just trying to figure stuff out. I'm a cleric without a god, kind of. I guess a god is that the old ones, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, the old ones I think are something far tentaclier than the great ones. But unless the old ones are a thing, I don't remember. Yeah, I've been alive for over 1,000 years, man. It's hard to keep track of all the things that I've.
Yeah, I know. I've only been alive a fraction of your time, but still.
Well, you look great.
Thank you.
That's helpful.
Yeah, you look pretty good.
Thanks. I'm feeling a little bit older, but that's what happens when they're like, oh, I guess you don't have this curse anymore. Curse buddies and death buddies.
I really think that are we like best friends? Because sometimes I feel like I hate you a lot, and then I'm like, I gotta quell that emotion. But
I don't think that makes us best friends. I think that makes us family. And then I pull off my mask, and I'm Vin Diesel. No. I mean, I think we're bonded a bit closer than best friends. I mean, all of us are, but we're all. There's no way we're just friends. We're all we're interconnected. I think we will be for however long we have left on Erubrion.
Yep. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that I don't let you and the party down.
Well, you haven't. You haven't. I don't want to compare, but I did walk out into a lightning storm to solve my own issues, and someone tried to kill you. Like, it's two different.
True.
So,
That is true.
yeah.
Yeah, this is really making me feel better.
Yeah, I find that telling
Put my
people
plight in
how-
perspective with yours.
Yeah. No, I believe that showing people how bad life can be through my own life is very helpful for people.
Well, I guess you maybe want to sing with me.
I look around and I like lean forward and I go, very quiet.
All right. If you don't have it, Elburn, you get DM inspiration.
Oh, I don't.
And Rev. Um,
Bark.
Elliot kind of like taps you on the shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
Hey,
How's it
so
going?
going well. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, we can talk. Let's move away from Atticus.
Okay,
just so
yeah. Atticus, yeah. Don't die. Elliot's like, so you guys know that little like vision orgy that you guys had earlier?
Is that what we're calling it? I don't know. If that's what we're calling.
Oh, I don't know. Well, yeah,
Sure.
whatever it was
Yeah.
called.
We
Yeah,
held hands.
all of you.
That's-
Yeah. You guys were all
Most of
interconnected,
the orgies that I've been to
experiencing
are a little bit spicier. than
one
that,
another. Yeah. Tomato. So during the vision orgy, I will also kind of talk to the great ones.
But,
And they told me some other stuff. Well,
What other stuff?
first of all, well, they explained some of the visions a little bit. So I think it was pretty clear, and I think you understood it. But Pildor has somehow learned to communicate correctly, or directly, I should say, with the great children. And through that has gained not control necessarily, but the ability to summon the Colossus. They told me that the Kraken has already been summoned, and that the Smoke Dragon had as well. The Smoke Dragon is north, where we heard the thunder come from. It seems to be staying there, waiting for the other dragons. That's the other thing they told me. Apparently there were some more eggs on this place called the Cold Slab, and now Pildor has them. So that's bad. And then just a couple of other things, just slight things. One, here's this, and he taps you on the forehead, and your vision goes white for a moment, and you hear the voice, the many echoed, dissonant voices of the great old ones enter your mind as they say, "You are the one who seeks truth more than the others.
It's me.
We want to grant you the ability to find the truth easier. And they grant you the ability to gain true sight once a day for 10 minutes. Which now, with the combination of your devil sight, not a lot gets past Rev. Then your vision kind of comes back, and Elliot's sitting there. That's kind of all that they told me. But then, well, something else happened. and I'm kind of worried about it.
You can always talk to me, buddy.
Okay, good. Well, I'll do that then. Well, I don't really know how to say this next part, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Um,
It's about him.
yeah.
Yeah. I figured. I figured.
He's back.
Fuck.
I
knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, and, he can talk to me,
No.
and he knows where you are.
Yeah.
And that is where we will end this week's session.
No! Are you fucking kidding?
We're gonna cut it off a little bit early, as
for
we
safety.
for safety, and as we finish the night, so that Atticus can be there as you
Yes.
make.
Oh yeah, he'll want to kill him again.
So that Atticus can be there when you make your way to the Grey Tips tomorrow.
You're gonna have to fight a dragon and a vampire.
Who knows what you're gonna have to do?
A vampire dragon.
we still don't know.
Thank you all so much for a great session. A lot of really cool
Wow.
role playing happening. Thank you everybody for watching. And we missed you, Eric. Hopefully you watch this to catch up. And if you do, I want you to text me right now the word blueberry.
The word of the day is blueberry.
If I don't get a text saying blueberry, he didn't do his homework. Just kidding.
That scoundrel.
So yeah, thank you all for joining us. Thank you to my wonderful players, the best players I can ask for. And
Aw,
we
that's
will
us.
all see you next week for
Yes.
our last show of 2021,
Hot dang.
which is kind of crazy to say.
Wow.
That's kind of nuts.
2022.
Yeah, so keep an eye on our socials for any upcoming announcements. We will see you soon. And as always, everybody say bye.
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 So the stream stopped for about 3 seconds. Hi.
Yeah.
We are here. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on this lovely December Sunday. A little chilly outside where we are, but not too bad. We are just going to jump straight into this because Eric's going to have to leave us halfway. So without any further ado, let's just get right into a recap of last week's session. Let me get these sounds playing. All right, there we go. Okay, so in our last session, the party was traveling with the Duskull chapter of the Grey Tip Vanguards in order to assist the Grey Tips in slaying Vrod, the red dragon that was currently terrorizing Lower Ara. Along the way, caravan members started to go missing as our party members discovered that a giant frog-man-like beast was swallowing the Grey Tip members whole and carrying them through an ornate red wooden door that was being conjured. Through some keen observation, the party discovered that Deva Sunstride held the same medallion on her that the creature was wearing, a medallion that now the party has. However, upon learning that the party was more dangerous than they originally thought, Mutt left with the rest of the Grey Tips, including the Sunstrides, and other than a strikingly awkward conversation between Dakar and Pharaoh, the party said nothing of the medallions. That night, while on watch, Pharaoh was coerced into the snowy wilderness by the haunting melodies of an unknown voice. Upon approaching the source of a shining light in the direction of the singing, Pharaoh was stabbed in the back by Deva Sunstride and fell immediately unconscious. The party
Oh,
awoke.
if you put it like that.
The party awoke to find Pharaoh missing and the signs of blood and struggle on the ground. They made their way back in the direction where they knew the Grey Tip Vanguards to be, but didn't get very far before they found a bloody, headless mess with words in the Elvish language plastered in blood alongside the wagons that said Xavier sends his regards. The Lake Peak Seven eventually found Pharaoh again, but they were almost too late. Pharaoh's soul was currently trying to leave his body, his corpse laying on the ground below. The only thing tethering him to this mortal plane was a bright orb of light similar to the one that had saved them all months ago. A quick and violent battle commenced, and quick thinking by Avra, she reached out and touched the orb, and the soul of Avra herself gave Pharaoh's soul the energy to survive long enough on the mortal plane to be healed. However, the unpredictable and ancient magic had a hiccup, and Avra's soul and Pharaoh's soul were briefly switched into each other's body. It was very funny. But it wasn't long before a swirling orb of snow appeared, and Athid, Kelfie's newfound Feywild companion, appeared in all of his majestic and mysterious glory. He apologized continuously and profusely for his absence and his lack of available time that he had currently, and barely let the party get a word in edgewise before he quickly switched Avra and Pharaoh's souls and disappeared as quickly as he had arrived. Before we left off, the party decided to grab their things and continue on their way, but discovered that Deva Sunstride had performed a curse on Pharaoh, making him speak atrocious and despicable things out loud when he thought he was saying something else entirely. That is where we left off. The Lake Peak 7 continued to travel for the remainder of the day, and you find yourselves in the snowy woodlands that you've called home for the past few days. Brisk, cold wind blows steadily, causing you to pull taut the various cloaks and coats that you own. The trials and tribulations that have haunted you these past few months are ever swirling around in your mind. Some questions answered, while new ones enter the fray. The sun is a mere hour away from disappearing beyond the horizon, so you begin to search for a small clearing or outcropping that can provide some natural shelter for the evening. As the clop of hooves thud into the snowy path before you, the haunting hums of Pharaoh continue underneath the cloth that has been secured to his mouth. The evening is yours, Lake Peak 7. What would you like to do?
I'm really interested in seeing Pharaoh's answers for honesty or compelled action.
Hey,
I think
I have
you know me
some
honest.
Yeah,
Well, I
I,
just
don't,
want to
do
see
some-
what.
I don't know if he's going to be capable of being honest. We can
No,
try.
I mean,
We
I
may as
don't.
well.
will
I
if he's
just want to
under
see
his
what
own
comes
truth.
out. You know.
Pharaoh, is
But-
that cool with you?
but he's gonna be honest, but like mean. Why do we? why do
Yeah,
we
but
want
I just kind
that?
of want to. I mean, it's not
Fun.
like I just want to see. Like, I'm just curious. It's not like I want it. I'm just curious.
I'll take the thing out of Pharaoh's mouth.
It'll be nice to like hold it over his head later.
Compelled action.
Did he say compelled action?
He did, yeah. Every
like,
once in a
tied
while,
up,
he
though,
says the
right?
actual thing that he thinks that he's saying. He is. I don't know if you guys tied him up. Maybe
No.
you did tie him up, but you
I
definitely
feel like
gagged
we
him.
did.
I think we did time up. I don't know why. 'cause
Threw him
he
over
was
the
saying
horse,
Things. He
yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah.
he wasn't like lashing out
Maybe
at
it was
us.
just like to be safe.
You're not
We were
like,
concerned for his
I
own
think
safety.
maybe we should tie him up just in case if we didn't.
I'm also desperately weak.
Yeah, super tired, very, very
but
exhausted.
you were close to dying. Shut up.
He technically did.
Pretty
die.
sure he
Technically, he
did.
did
He
die.
was only
Technically.
half dead.
Get out of here.
Are you doing
mean-
okay, Pharaoh? I don't know, maybe before we just grill you with questions, check in on you a little bit.
I mean, definitely have been better.
He
not
said that he's better than the rotting family you left behind.
Oh no!
Is this just a
I
roast?
just- I
This is
just
what I'm
shoved the
saying,
thing back
guys.
in his
This is a
mouth.
terrible idea.
For the record, that was
Why is it
Albert's
fun to
true
get
reaction.
insulted?
He just laughed super hard. Like,
You know,
man,
guys, we tried.
I say we just leave him here.
Oh,
No, I mean, I think
mean,
I might be able to
of
remove
course,
the curse tomorrow. So we
Yeah.
just can't let him talk
I
until
could try
tomorrow.
too.
If you
Is
can't
that like
remove
a? Is
the
it a magical
curse,
course?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
like,
stuck
I
in the
have to
woods
try.
with this asshole now,
Yeah.
We can't take him into town.
right?
we'll just say he has like, you know, some curse where if you hear him speak, it like fucks you up, so that they don't have to like take the guy and be like, "What's going on?" You're like, "Oh, you see this on his forehead? Like it fucked up his mouth. And it does stuff."
The
And that way-
ancient curse of Tourette.
Yes.
oh.
Oh my gosh.
Zach, would I know with herbalism if there's anything
Herbalism.
herbalism?
Herbalism.
Um,
Herbalism.
from what I know from Herb. Is there anything that I would know?
Herb, the Greenleaf
Herb,
member that taught you everything about herbalism.
Study on
Right,
the ways
yep.
of food.
Really
Good
named it
dude.
after himself.
Anything for the curse?
Yeah, that I would know would maybe because I also did like some extra studying. I can't remember what city we were in, but like I brushed up on it and like got a book about it and stuff.
Yeah.
Would I have read anything that may help with curses that I could at least try now?
Roll a, I suppose, because you are like somewhat proficient in herbalism. So I almost don't want to say nature because I know your nature stats probably not that great.
No, it is.
It is? Okay, so yeah, roll a...
Nature and survival are both pretty high.
Okay, roll a nature stat then.
Plus 20 to nature.
Okay, which dice is not gonna screw me over? Let's try this one.
Are you proficient in nature?
Yes.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Nice.
20. So you know that there is maybe the occasional magical plant of lore that houses within itself power to cure things beyond, what normal herbalism does. However, those are things of myth and legend and things that are like not very common. Herbalism itself is definitely something that deals more so with physical ailments rather than magical kinds. However, with a dirty 20, whereas you can't think of anything that would cure the curse, you could think of stuff that would maybe make the symptoms better. A certain combination of herbs that would like make Pharaoh's mouth really numb, so that like he couldn't really talk like at all. So he wouldn't have to have a gag in his mouth. But he also wouldn't be able to say like atrocious things, but he wouldn't be able to say anything. So like that's something that comes to your mind or something along those lines. But yeah, as far as flat out removing the curse, you don't think that that's a possibility as far as straight up herbalism.
Okay. I'll take out like my little herb kit. I'll kind of look at everybody and like, well, if we don't want to continue to gag him, I could make up something that like makes your like lips numb so you like can't really talk. So he would just sound like that. So when he's like insulting us, we can't really hear him.
It'd be funnier then.
Yeah,
I mean,
more enjoyable.
Not funny now.
I mean,
He's
he
just
didn't really
sitting
fight
there
us on the gag
gagged.
thing. He might like the gag in his mouth.
Should we
I
talk?
mean, he's also right here, and like he has answered sometimes. So, like
Yeah.
Pharaoh,
That we
how do
know
you
of.
feel about the?
I
Kelpie's
re-gagged him
idea?
after he said whatever he
Do,
Yeah.
said.
do I? I don't
Oh, I'll
realize what I'm
ungag him.
saying, do I?
No, you've throughout the whole day of travel, you have put together that they must be hearing something that you are not saying. But
Yeah.
but it is
We
still
explained to him what was happening.
you did, yeah, but it's still a
Yeah.
weird sensation to him because he is
Yeah.
saying in his mind what he thinks he is saying.
Yeah.
Do we have anything that can just like knock him out?
Yeah, and
Not like knock him out,
I-
but like through herbs if we can like put him to sleep.
I probably have like
Oh.
some sleepy time herbs that I could just put together.
Yeah, just-
I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
Maybe
don't
go for it.
punch him. He's already like died once today. I
Well,
don't think.
is
we
that-
should
I
punch him in the
magic
face.
can't put me to sleep.
Yeah, magic
anybody-
magic can't, but
Well, if-
herbs can.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
Strongly
He's
bruised.
About
gonna
magic
drug me?
herbs, man.
Elf grass, elf grass.
But yeah, I could do that too and just put him to sleep instead of making his mouth all numb.
Does anybody know if Drigo knows any magic of any sort?
I start
Yeah,
like
he
Didn't we
does.
ask
I
him
start like
about
grunting
teleportation
again.
and stuff?
He helped us with the teleport.
He's
You
grunting.
can like nod yes or no.
Okay.
Oh wait, do you guys think I should? Do you think I should reach out to Drigo and like
Yes.
let him know?
I mean, no. Ask him if he knows how to remove it. Like he'll be fine. Just like, do you have a fast way to do it that we could figure out on the way to this place that we're going?
It's probably the spell that we just
Well, I
can't
can
do
do
right
this
now.
2 more
Do you want-
times.
Do you want us to
But-
reach out to Drigo Pharaoh?
Oh,
Do
well.
you want us to just let him know that you're okay?
So you, Pharaoh, want us to lie to him?
No. We'll be honest with him. Just tell him that he's not like dead.
Yeah.
But like, isn't it kind of
worse.
weird
Very
getting a random
specifically,
call and be like,
he's
"Hey,
not
Pharaoh's not dead."
Well, maybe we should just like,
Don't they reach out to each other every night?
I'll
Well,
update
yeah,
my
but-
You
answer
might be
machine.
worried.
but we can just like see if we can fix him tomorrow morning, and then let Pharaoh talk to him in his Pharaoh way.
We could just go to bed early, just get a really good night's sleep.
Yeah. I mean,
We still need to be.
I think both you and
watchful.
Pharaoh could really use that.
Yeah, real quick question though, Atticus, what is this sign?
That means like
My uncle he
tubular.
lost his 3 fingers, and he that's
That's
I don't know
the
what else.
somatic gesture.
That's what you
to-
do for sending, yeah.
Oh, by the way, something I meant to mention in the recap: whoever would have taken Dakar and Deva's medallions. I know we ended right after the battle, so we didn't say who would have done that, but I'm assuming one of the two of you would have taken their medallions. If you remember last session, one of the things that you guys heard was in the scrying was Deva say that the medallions were close to being done. And so about an hour into your travels, the red medallions started softly glowing red. Just that is a point of order.
I think Rev had one of them.
I didn't specifically.
You just saw it.
I
You
just
saw it?
saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would have just because but I would have kept it like away from, like wrapped up and away from me. I think because
Yeah.
I knew that they'd been possessed somehow.
Yeah. I
Um,
would have, because I was by Dakar after smashing his skull instead of touching the orb, because that was a great idea. I probably would have picked it up and just like given it to Avra, and once the craziness ended and Avra was Avra again.
Totally.
Okay, so if it started glowing, then I guess one of the first things I would have done when we stopped is cast Identify on it.
It is basically a medallion that allows the user to cast a specific instance of Magnificent Mansion. It seems that all of these medallions grant access. It seems that both of these medallions grant access to the same Magnificent Mansion.
Okay.
Mordecai's.
Not Mordecai's. Mordecai or Mordecai.
So does this seem? I mean, it's the red door, right? It's got to be.
It's got to be what they were doing.
I mean, it's a red thing, so red door seems.
And didn't the door have that same symbol on it?
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Did
think.
you say that?
Yes, it did. It had that symbol on it.
So yeah, it makes sense that this would
This is
somehow.
Yeah.
I bet that
Maybe it's-
I bet that frog creature is in the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
wonder who
like
else is in
Elburn's
there.
little
We all
medallion
go
that lets
there?
him cast things.
No, mine's different. Mine's not bad.
I don't mean it's bad. I mean it's a medallion that makes you cast magic things when you might not be able to originally.
I don't care. It's not a magic thing. I'm just looking at you. Whatever.
Okay.
And I
Sounds
look
like
at
a-
Albert and I like pat him on the shoulder and I say, "That's magic."
Honey.
So
I know.
funny.
Honey, no.
I've seen this
It's
relationship
okay.
before.
It's okay. It can be magic. You're fine.
Thank you. And I grab your hand and just like hold it for a second, but like up a little too high. It's
Yeah,
not
it's like on your shoulder still. You're just like,
yeah, just like
and we stay like that a little too long, and then I notice that everybody's looking at us,
Aw.
and I just like shake it
That's a-
up, and then I run, just
run
into
out
the
of
woods, just into the woods.
They're cute.
So, should we deal with this in the morning or?
Yeah.
I feel like that makes the most sense.
At
You know
least,
what?
I mean,
You
like
don't
30
think that like the frog monster can make like doors appear out of the necklace when he's not around, do you?
probably can. I
Yeah,
wouldn't-
we should definitely
just
take some
assume that it
serious
can.
watches tonight.
Yeah, and like
Maybe
a
nobody took a watch
double.
alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
that-
The bubble.
Oh.
Why didn't we do the bubble
Maybe we
last
like
night?
ooh.
Yeah,
Can we
let's
find,
do
like,
the
a-
bubble.
Like
Do
a
the
cliff
bubble,
to, like,
but still
hang
have
these-
watches.
These medallions off of the cliff, maybe. And
Are
then
we
can
that
make the
high
door.
up?
No.
Well, I wouldn't want
You're
anyone
not
else
near
to
any
get.
cliffs.
Off a cliff.
I think
I'm
it's
not a
better to.
ranger.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
Our
runs out
possession.
and falls.
Rev just starts running around looking for cliffs.
I mean, I think we can use.
I think I
these
see one over here.
medallions.
Help me.
Yeah,
Go that
I mean,
direction.
Seems like Pildor might also be in this mansion, and I don't know if we're ready for that yet. But when we are, I don't think we should just get rid of these things.
No,
I think we
go
should
right
look at
around
it.
here.
Once we've all had some time to rest, I think we might want to pop into the mansion just to maybe at least sweep it out, clean it out before we use it.
I know
Unless-
from experience that popping into a place that Pildor is not maybe the best idea.
Definitely not.
We don't know.
alone.
Well, you saw where Pildor was.
Pildor was
And if-
not in a mansion type.
No,
place.
he was.
Oh.
He was in. He was potentially at the cold slab,
Or
Yeah.
heading
Oh,
to the
okay.
heading to the cold
and
flame.
heading in that direction.
Mhm.
All I know is that he's very, very dumb looking.
Oh my god.
That's all I fully know. Real quick, I
You call me the child.
reminded me that we didn't get a chance to look at the bodies. Elburn for sure would have been absolutely fascinated by the weapon that they had used earlier.
What specific weapon?
Didn't they have a flintlock pistol or something?
Dakar had 2 4-chambered pistols.
Yeah, I for sure took one.
Okay, yeah.
To just be like, what is this?
Yeah, we did not talk
nonsense?
about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
totally.
Yeah, I wanted some
Yeah, I would assume that
weapon.
you guys looked through their bodies. Other than the medallions, probably not even any gold because they would have kept it in the mansion. They had the medallions. She had a rapier with a couple daggers. He had a couple daggers and the 2 4-chambered pistols, and that's about it.
Those pistols can really pack a punch. They can.
Oh,
shoot a
and
lot faster than
an
crossbow
ammo
can.
pouch with probably 20 ball bearings in it.
I probably took one of the pistols and the ammo pouch and left the other pistol for if anybody wanted it.
Yeah.
I'll grab the other pistol and be like, "Hey, Elburn, you forgot this one."
Oh,
You just left this one on the ground.
Don't you have a thing that gives you 4 arms?
yeah. I haven't really used it.
You have 4 arms?
I don't have four.
Dude, you could fire the
You're
2
right there, and I'll
pistols
grab
and then the
his forearm.
invisible arms.
Who said
Oh,
Elliot? Did you
sweet.
just say that?
Yeah, I think it would be. I just think it would be real cool to have, up here you're fucking Wild Westing it up, and then down here you just Rocky Balboa. You know what I mean?
Oh my
No,
god.
I don't. Who's Rocky Balboa?
Yeah, is that a rock giant?
He's a Goliath
Oh,
that
he's-
I know.
Mm.
He's got a real thick accent.
What's the
Oh my.
accent?
Thick?
The 2 C's?
Fair.
You've never been.
From
You've never
the, from the region of Seek.
Yeah, you've never been to Thick.
No, he's up in. He's for sure up near the northern part of this place.
It's a Philadelphian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphian. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, with an F.
He really liked himself a lot. He carved a statue of himself at the top of a staircase that he also made of himself.
I would say that's arrogant, but I
How
just
do you make
take
a
it back to my
staircase
hair.
of yourself?
By himself. I meant by himself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Sounds like a cool
Seems
guy.
a little
Elliot,
Yeah.
Could
I'm
you
here
narcissistic,
too. Can I do what now?
could you wield a gun, Elliot, with one of these?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Oh,
I believe
wow.
I
Yeah, terrible
abhor
idea.
gun violence.
I didn't know gun violence existed before.
Yeah, no, I think it
Yeah,
looks
what do you
cool when
call
other
it?
people
These
do
call
it, but
guns.
no, I'm a bit of a pansy myself, so.
Well, you know what? I think I'll take both of these, and I stick my finger down the barrel to hold it because I'm, gun new.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's where the balls come out. Don't put your
Oh,
finger in
the
there.
balls?
Yeah, the balls. The ball bearings.
Oh, that's what's in here.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, you put him.
You could probably play a nice game of marbles with those.
Yeah.
yeah, marbles into somebody's brain, probably, and I
That's
block
not
it.
how
Are
you play
those-
marbles.
Are they just for all intents and purposes the ball bearings that other people like in your inventory you would have? Or is
Yeah,
it specifically
the thing is I don't know the actual definition of ball bearings, but I would think that it was the same thing.
Okay.
The metal
Yeah.
ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a metal ball's a metal ball, so.
I'm mentally updating my after-school special curriculum to include gun violence.
They just seem they just seem like very destructive devices, so.
Also, just
I mean,
for
they're-
the
use
record,
that
They're a
as
coward's
magic.
weapon.
I don't really like crossbows either.
You just don't like things that can hit you from distances.
Yeah, bows, for sure. Don't like those spears if they're carried by a big guy. Yeah, I don't like those.
What about people with long arms?
Definitely don't like people with long arms, for
How do
sure.
you feel about chimpanzees?
Chimpanzees are nature's murderer. I also
Oh.
think that
Hot take.
I also think that
take.
slingshots are much more dangerous than people think that they are. I knew this one.
Oh, yeah.
I knew this one giant named Goliath.
We need to go back to.
I
Elliot's
take one of the
hometown.
guns out and shoot Elliot directly in the face. I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm
my
kidding. I
God.
don't.
He disappears in a puff
Executed.
of sparkles.
Oh, damn it.
So
Oh
where
my
are we
God.
going tomorrow?
Yeah.
During all
thought
this,
the
I've
plan-
been making the bubble, by the way.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Multitasking. This is all happening while you guys are setting up camp.
Camp
So
conversation.
what's the plan here?
Are we still heading towards the HQ? Because we're in front of them still, are we
They're-
not?
Well, they're dead.
Well, they're
they're all
headless
dead.
bodies.
Yeah.
All of them got
Okay.
killed. Okay, yeah.
Our
Alright.
plan was
Yeah.
to go to the
I
dragon.
don't take it back. I'm just like, so
But-
we're in front of them still, though. We're beating
We
them,
are
right?
We
ahead
are
of them, that's for
winning.
sure.
I think we've officially won that one.
I can't believe I outlived.
You're
I
about
don't
you're
even
about
know who are.
7 heads ahead of them. Yeah.
Hey.
Well, we
Well,
were gonna
now-
head to the dragon, but I kind of feel like we should head to the Great Tip headquarters now.
Yeah, the last thing
I
that
mean,
you
we
guys
should
talked
probably
about was not going to the HQ and just trying to find the dragon yourself. That's just the last thing you spoke about. But now Atticus
Now
is
everyone's
saying
dead.
you should not do that.
Well, but also Pharaoh is fucked up. So.
And also
they-
Pharaoh is fucked up.
I don't
Didn't
think
Mutt-
we should bring him to a Grey Tips place with him.
And didn't Mutt
bad-mouthing
say that
everything.
we shouldn't go there without him because they wouldn't like us?
Yeah.
Well, I think that we might be able to use Pildor killing 7 of their members as, you know.
Well, and
Yeah,
also
but-
just to
Yeah.
remind you, well, just to
Yeah,
remind you of the
what-
conversation, Mutt specifically said that they wouldn't like because he would tell them
Yeah.
about who you were.
So if Mutt's not there, we don't. I mean, the only person to vouch for is you, right?
Exactly.
Well, okay, and just for my own knowledge of my own backstory,
Yeah.
I don't think I dealt with whatever his fucking name was.
Redwald. I
Red-
think that
Redwald.
I think that you've maybe like met him once,
Yeah.
but no, it was mainly Mutt and the Death Call people that you dealt with.
Yeah.
But
'cause
you've met other members, just like who had like been visiting the Dust Call chapter, or
Mhm.
people who were once a part of the Dust Call chapter that like re-stationed themselves or something like that. So you're confident that you'll know at least some people there. Like people will not just think that you're a complete stranger, but yeah, you're definitely not super buddy with anybody there.
Yeah, and I think Kelpie said it earlier, but like, we don't have any way, unless we can show them these medallions and like throw a mansion up in the air. We don't have any way of like backing our story that we didn't just murder them and like use their trajectory.
As of right
Yeah.
now, technically no.
Yeah.
Well, we can
so,
go bring like Mutt's head and the
Yeah.
banner that says
Not
Pildor
gonna help
sends
our
his
That's
case.
regards.
worse.
Head, and I
And they
pull-
went right send and the banner that says like Pildor sends his regard. I don't know, it's some sort of physical proof.
Can
Shake
we
my head
leave
no.
that there though?
Why are you shaking your
Yeah,
head?
we would have
Traveling
to double
away
back.
from all of that stuff.
I think that we should wake up in the morning, figure
I don't
out.
think we should wake up in the morning.
Feeling
We're
like
done.
he did
We're
it.
done.
Okay, never mind. Figure
No,
out
what's your-
what's going on with Pharaoh and if we can fix it.
Yeah.
And maybe then make the decision. I mean, we talked about going into the mansion after that in the morning,
It's true.
which who
Yeah,
knows
let's
how long
sleep
that
on
would
it.
take.
Should we vote?
Let's sleep on it
That-
then. Vote.
Let's vote after we've slept on it, and Pharaoh can also accurately vote.
What do you
That's-
think about
yeah.
all this, Pharaoh? And I'll take the no?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. I've had a lot of thoughts go through my head. First of all, I would like to speak to Drigo myself, if possible. I know I appreciate the gesture, Abra, but I would like to talk. Also, I vote. Let's get a night's rest and then maybe fix me in the morning. I would like to have some help with the dragon.
That was just a really, really long bitch.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
Yeah, the longest bitch in the
That was
world.
impressive. That was some good breath support. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my
Okay.
Oh,
god.
that's singing.
Well then, yeah, let's maybe sleep.
This is
Should I-
the most fun curse I've ever thought of as a DM.
Should I give Pharaoh some
Bitch.
sleepy stuff so he like
Yeah.
doesn't yell at
Yeah,
us as he
no, I
tries
think
to
so.
fall asleep?
Make
Like,
him
we're good,
comfy.
you know.
Elburn,
No,
don't
well,
I
punch
maybe
think
him.
not,
that would
Elburn.
kill him, Elburn.
Thank
Well,
you for acknowledging that I've got great fists, but
That's not.
I'm not gonna kill him.
Okay, I'm just
That's
gonna.
not
I'm
the
just
point of
gonna,
a
I'm just gonna
that.
make some sleepy stuff.
I hated
and
that.
I'd like to make some extra sleepy stuff because
Yeah.
I think I would have taken some of the daggers from Dickar
Yeah.
and his sister. Who
Sure.
I forget the name of.
Yeah,
Um,
4 daggers.
And then I don't know if it'll work, but what I'd like to do is try to like lace the dagger with the sleepy stuff. So if the next time we're in battle and I throw it at someone, it has the potential to make them go to sleep.
Sure, I will say you feel with giving some to Pharaoh, you can lace 2 steel daggers
Cool.
in sleepy time meds that will last a week
'Kay.
before wearing off.
Nice.
Whoa.
Well, not the
Humming a lullaby.
sleep,
won't make him
but
sleep for a week.
Yeah.
Feels good.
But the daggers will still be potent for a week.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. Science.
Maybe should have made you roll for that, but I've already said it.
Kelpie, teach me everything.
All right, so you all find yourselves asleep for the night. I won't
Okay.
make you assign various watches.
Okay.
Nothing happens. You're good.
Whew.
You
Pharaoh's gone the next day.
Pharaoh's wasted. No, I don't know why I said that. Pharaoh is there, fine, alive. You all. It's weird because you all wake up and Pharaoh is. Oh! Just, no, Dad. It's weird because you all wake up and Pharaoh is asleep, which is something that you are not used
Kelpie
to.
stabbed him.
Pharaoh is usually up before all of you, and even when he is asleep, he's just meditating. But he is like asleep, and so it's a strange thing to see.
I'm definitely sitting next to him and just like seing how many rocks I can like line along like, his
Snoring
face.
heavily.
I
But
don't
yeah,
have
the,
I don't
uh,
have like I can't draw a penis on him.
Yeah.
Mm,
The combination of the sleeping medicine from Kelpie and the 3 points of exhaustion that you had definitely causes you to sleep for a long time. But you've now had a long rest. You have none of those points of exhaustion anymore.
Long
You are good.
rest. Oh, I should reevaluate.
I would
my-
take time when I woke up to just like inspect both of the weapons and just like try to familiarize myself with them so I don't shoot myself. In
Oh
the
yeah,
face.
go ahead and make an intelligence check. See if you can figure out the inner workings. What is it? It's a 1.
Full
Nothing.
one, so 2.
Yeah. Nothing bad happens. So like it doesn't like backfire or anything, but it just seems this attempt to look at it this morning, whether it be because you're like dehydrated or whatever, it just kind of gives you a headache. It's a bit too complicated to understand, and it's not like, you know, it's something super foreign. You think you get it, but you're just not confident to like try it out right now. You feel like you got to look at it more.
I try to twirl it and hit myself in the face.
Exactly. It's like, okay. Well.
And I might put them back in the holsters.
Yeah.
Go about my day.
For the first
That's cool,
second, you're
Albert.
holding it like upside down with the barrel facing you, and your thumb's on the trigger, and you're like, this can't be how it is. Like it's.
I'll try to help Elburn and like because I saw him shoot me like from right next to me and try to
True.
be like,
Yeah.
this is how he held it.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
He at least saves you from shooting yourself.
yeah. I don't know how it works, but this is how.
But this is where it pointed.
This is what shot me.
All right. I hold it and I just like go like this and it drops out of my hand. Ah, son of a-
You'll get it.
Yeah.
You haven't quite figured out that you need to load the gun.
Having some teleportation shit
You
from
just
the
like
bag.
you put the balls in the barrel, and then they just like fall out of the barrel. Like it's like not really. Yeah.
Damn it.
I
Holster.
would I would go over to Pharaoh, still asleep, and just try to remove curse on his sleepy self.
Damn it! I thought you were gonna try dispel magic. I didn't know you as a wizard knew remove curse. Um, you lay down your spell book in front of you. It's definitely not a spell that you've practiced many times. And you kind of practice the incantations to yourself underneath your breath before taking out your arcane focus and holding it in your hands, repeating the ancient arcane language. And Pharaoh, you awaken, and you feel great.
Hey, Pharaoh.
Hey guys. Everything cool or?
I'm just holding the gag.
Pharaoh,
Yeah.
Just in case.
in case I wasn't, Pharaoh, everything that he will say from now on is what you hear.
I say, bitch.
However, Pharaoh, you do have, it's pretty well healed, but you do have faint scarring in the Elvish language curse on your forehead still.
It's good to have you back, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
I wonder what this curse means on my forehead.
Oh, what?
I was gonna say, I tell you.
Does this mean that I don't know, maybe that only affects people who have a tainted heart in the first place? Am I tainted?
No.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more than the rest of us.
All right.
Oh, Avra and
Right.
Rev, if you wrapped it up, you would not notice, but Avra, the medallion is fully glowing this morning. It was a soft glow, and now it is fully glowing. It's almost like you would almost be able to see it, Rev. Like once you started unwrapping it, you can like see it piercing through the cloth. If you did start unwrapping.
Should we take a vote on this? And I'll hold it up to show everybody how glowy it is.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I pull mine out too, I guess, seeing that it's glowy, and be like, oh, yeah.
What happens if you touch them together?
Let's not.
I mean, let's
Are we
talk
best
about it
friends now?
before we try.
Best friend medallions.
The half of a heart each half.
Captain Planet shows up.
I think I'll vote to open the door.
Yeah, that's my vote too.
I think that we know that it's probably not Pildor there, but it could be one of his biggest weapons, and if we could get rid of that, then why wouldn't we?
Do you think
If that
it's
frog's
that?
in there, I'd like to bring it to justice.
Yeah.
Do we know how long these take to recharge? Because clearly they're glowing more than they were, and I don't want to get stuck in this mansion.
I guess
good
you've already
point.
cast Identify on it, so you would know that it comes with 2 charges,
Okay.
and the first soft glow that happened was one of the charges refilling, and the second glow was the 2. So you'll be
Okay.
able to cast it with 1 charge and then cast it again, but you don't technically
leave.
have to cast it again to leave the mansion, which
Okay,
is
but
something
just
that
in
you could
case.
tell, Kelpie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would tell you that.
Can you tell if these are linked? Do we have 4 charges now between the 2 of them, or?
Touch them together.
You do. Yep, you have 4 charges between the 2 of them.
And is it just a like? Why would they need 2 if they're together to go through the door? Like, is it just a one person through the door,
Multiple
or is it
times
just
a
the door's
day.
open and you can just go through it?
In case they separate. Oh, sorry,
Mhm.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think in case
I was
they
answering as the
separate-
DM. Let me tell you
Yeah,
the
I
inner
figured
workings
that.
of their thought process.
JMO figures that Kelpie is confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just gives us some extra security. I think we should do it.
Should we all go in one, or should some of us stay here?
This
I
thing
think we
needs
all-
someone.
We all.
That's
I think
the
we should
idea.
stay together.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous.
I mean, me too.
It ate a
I'm
man
very nervous.
whole.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Other people have the same things as me. Cool.
I don't really care what we do.
Are we actually voting,
Oh.
or are we just assuming that a majority is
Fair enough.
a yes? It seems.
I say yes.
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
That's majority.
Did anybody
do they
send Drigo?
I'm gonna cast sending to Drigo.
Okay.
It's just... Do you think I'm a good person? Not like fake on the outside, but really. Sometimes I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yes, yeah. So 5 more.
Everything around me is destruction. Sometimes.
Everything around me is destruction.
That's not gonna cause him panic.
Most emo sending that Pharaoh has
Sounds like a
ever done.
You
Part of a
hear
really good haiku.
For real.
you hear like a soft sigh, and then I knew this would happen if you were gone too long. Barrow, you are a shining light amongst
God.
darkness. I miss you and can't wait to see you again.
All right, I sent another message right back.
Okay.
Love you, my Captain Blue Bear. XOXOXO 20 times.
Pharaoh, we're
Um,
about to go to the mansion. What are you doing?
Wooning.
uh,
What's happening?
Forgot.
I didn't know. I don't like it.
And then you hear, my sweet honey bun.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I can't wait for those X's and O's to be kisses and hugs. See you soon.
Kill me. Kill me.
I'm
That's
more
like
romantic.
Interesting.
I am more romantic as Drigo with Farah with Matt than I am as Zach with Emily.
All right,
Hey, I'm gonna
You don't
note
call
this
her
in
honey
your vows.
buns?
I'm
Baby
gonna note
boo
this
boo.
in front of the entire wedding. I just want something to be acknowledged that was said.
Emily, I hope that Zach treats you as well as his fictional character treated Matt's fictional character. All right, so yeah. Do you cast the spell, Avra? Or do you use the medallion to cast the spell, I should say?
Does everybody feel ready?
Yeah, someone hold my hand.
I hold her hand.
Atticus
like
has to
hold my
leave.
other
Atticus
hand.
has to leave in an hour and 10 minutes, so you guys gotta get.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Atticus,
I'll
hold
take
my
out my
hand.
sword and shield.
Atticus is just like, I won't go. It's fine. I'll stay here.
I'm gonna stay back.
You use the medallion to cast the spell. You
Yep.
push it out towards you, very Power Ranger style.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And after speaking the incantations of the spell, a red ornate door just kind of rises out of the ground in front of you with the same symbol of the medallion on it.
I'll be the first to step through.
All right. You open the door and are immediately greeted by a warm atmosphere inside. It is much warmer inside this mansion. It is very brightly lit by warm candlelight and chandelier above. It is the first thing that you see is an incredibly large foyer that reaches the full 3 stories in height. There is a large chandelier that hangs from the center of the ceiling. On the other side of the chandelier that you can't really see right now is a very large mural painted on the ceiling. A large red rug with black ornate trimmings on the side starts at the center of the entrance, travels across the center of the foyer, and goes up the large staircase that then breaks off on either side, going to a second floor. To your right is a large open door that seems to go into a study filled with red velvet furniture. And then to your left is a large open door that has a long dining table with ornate red and black dining room chairs and a roaring fireplace.
I immediately go to the red velvet furniture and I just start like doing the back and forth thing, and I'll be like, guys, look at this magic.
Yeah,
It's like dark on this side and then it disappears.
as you walk into
then
the
it's there.
study, it seems to the candles in the fireplace within the study itself seem to brighten as you walk into the room, almost as if lighting the room further upon entry. The velvet furniture is very well maintained. There's not an inch of dust anywhere. It is very soft and comfortable. There are two bookcases on either side of the fireplace that have various leather-bound books on them. And yeah, that's what you see in the study.
I want to have Gustav kind of sniff around to see if he gets any scent of the frog creature.
Okay. I'll note
Yeah, I'll
that.
have Gidget do the same thing.
Yeah, Gidget will be riding on
I'll-
top of Gustav.
I'll ask Elliot to also sniff around for the frog.
All
So
right.
all the familiars going, and I'll be like, Sam, you should probably look around too. And I'll like take Sam out of my bag and
Sam,
I
like,
will join them also and sniff.
Sam, Gustav goes sniffing around. Gidget is riding on top of Gustav. Sam is running between the legs of Gustav underneath him. And
Gustav got
Elliot.
an 11 because he's so confused about so many other things that are around.
And Elliot just like hunches over and his wings just like his wings, it's like every time he flies it definitely looks like his wings struggle to lift him up, and his wings just slowly lift him up to the second floor as he starts looking around. Gustav's 11. We will come back to that. What does everybody else do?
I'm just having a time with this couch.
Okay, yeah.
It's like,
What's the nature of the books?
Yeah, so you briefly look at the books.
Mm.
Without a roll needed, you notice that there are three main types of books on these shelves. The most populous book on the shelves is ornate retellings and gruesome detail of assassinations completed by the Sunstride siblings. It tells of their target, it tells of the preparation that they went through, and then, like I said, in gruesome detail, speaks of their deaths. There are various journals written both by Descartes and Davis Sunstride that really sing of praise for Xavier. Which is something that you've seen before from someone who has been underneath Xavier's spells. And the journals are just them talking about how much they love him, how powerful he is, how much he's done for them. And then the last are four somewhat larger books with four different titles on them. Let me look at something real quick so I get this right.
You are going to die.
that's my favorite series. I read that as a kid, I think.
That was a Lemony Snicket series, wasn't it?
Basically.
Boy who didn't live.
Yeah. Chapter
Well,
one.
dropped him out the window. The end.
The end.
Spoilers.
All right. My bad.
Sorry, I'm just trying to remember. Oh, okay. So there's four books of distinct titles. The first book is a blue velvet bound book. Not velvet, felt maybe is more accurate. It's like that book where it's like hard cardboard but kind of fuzzy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like that
Yeah.
sensation.
Yeah.
It's like that in a deep blue, and the title is Kraken.
Kraken.
Yep. There
That's a book of jokes.
yeah. It's a book of jokes. The other
With
book,
an apostrophe.
the other book is pure black with like orange lettering etched in, almost as if it looks like lava breaking out of a rock, and it is entitled The Scorpion.
Yep.
The third book is completely gray in tone, and it is called The Smoke Dragon. And
like that.
the last book is a leather-bound book that has cracks throughout the leather, looking like a dried landscape. That's called the golem.
I fully was unmuted for all of the feelings I just had.
Yeah, you sure were. But it was fun. It was good.
Should we open up all these books at once? No.
Definitely would like draw attention to those four in particular.
Yeah.
Like pointing out like the scorpion we saw, and like get Abra's attention, and for sure like the book person.
The book person. Yeah, Abra.
I want to go to the books and just make maybe like an Arcana check to see if like there is anything magical about them, or if
very
they're just
intentionally
books.
do not open them. Also.
Okay. Yeah. No need to roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
These are just books.
Okay.
You would have noticed that upon looking at them. I'll just go ahead and briefly tell you. You look at like the front summary of each book as you open them up, and they are in fact all four from the same series of books called the Colossals. The Scorpion is you find out that all of these four Colossals were created by the Great Ones when they left the mortal plane and entered the elemental planes. The Great Ones were the ones that created the elemental planes, and in order to protect the elemental planes from beings from the mortal planes, which were creations from the Great Children, they created these Colossals, these monsters.
Guys, look! I found the plot!
Cut to the end.
It describes that there is one colossal that lives partway in the mortal plane as well as its plane of existence. That colossal is the Kraken. It is a very large, gargantuan-sized, basically giant sea squid with horrific details about its appearance, stuff that it's capable of doing, felling ships in a single swipe of one of its tentacles, swallowing entire armadas with a single gulp of its mouth. You know, it's hard to tell what is true, what is fabricated. The second colossal, the Scorpion, is from the Fire Plane. It is a large black scorpion that in the cracks and crevices of its exoskeleton armor, underneath you can see rivers of flowing lava. And when it opens its mouth, you see lava inside it as well. The stinger drips lava. The creature is known to be able to move at extremely fast speeds throughout the deserts of the Fire Plane. The third colossal, I'll get back to in just a second. The fourth colossal is known as the Golem. It lives in the Earth Elemental Plane. It is rumored to be the size of a mountain and the shape of a man. And it is just a mountain-sized, man-shaped formation of rock and destruction and power. And the last colossal, you kind of gasp a little bit, because two things, or something that was told to you recently, makes you think, reminds you of this colossal, the smoke dragon. It begins to describe a colossal elemental dragon made of dark ashen smoke that, instead of breathing some kind of fire or elemental weapon, when it breathed, it would exude hot ashen air, vaporizing anyone within its path. And as it describes the smoke dragon, you remember a conversation that you had with Vix. and the visions that Gringa had, and the story or the rumor of the fifth dragon. Yes.
Okay.
Cool, neat. I'm gonna keep these.
Okay.
Put them in my bag of book holding.
Mm-hmm.
Buy them on Amazon.
We opened up the books during this process. Like that's how
You
we got
opened them
all
up,
this
and
stuff.
yeah.
We
They are
got
just
the monsters.
Yeah, they are just books.
The Kraken is
We hear
down
a
in the
knock at the
foyer.
door.
While also looking through the books, I want to see if there's like a journal that is maybe speaks to like how to use the guns at all.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Go ahead and make
servicing
an
them.
investigation check for me. Kelpie, what were you just about to say?
Just while they're looking at books and things, like I would basically be watching like the entry to this place, and
I'm doing the same thing.
I would, I think, wild shape into a saber-toothed tiger and kind of sneak away a little bit to like look for anything that would be related to this toad or other people, or like not venture too far away, but like investigate a little bit stealthily.
Yeah, I'll say what happens is Gusta, the triumvirate of Gustav, Gidget, and Sam, have pinpointed an area that is heavy in the smell of this toad-like creature. On the second floor, on the right side, like if you're looking at the staircase on the right side, there are 3 doors, and they seem to be kind of like going throughout those 3 doors, not really knowing which one it is. And then you, as a saber-toothed tiger, notice them up there, and you don't go too far. You said you didn't want to go too far away, so you notice them up there, and then you're able to like nudge Gustav or nudge Atticus in your saber-tooth tiger form and kind of like nod up and point to where they're sniffing around.
We may have found the frog. I'll call back into the study.
While that's all going on simultaneously, after I finished my velvet magic, can I like, I thought I heard when you described that, was there like stuff hanging on the walls that might be like weaponry, or is there any sort of like any
in this room there's nothing hanging on the walls. There is there's a large mural on the ceiling of the room that I described, of the foyer, and then the staircase that goes up on either side, and on either side there are 3 doors on the left, or 3 doors on the right and 3 doors on the left. And yeah, that's what I described. And then the dining room with the fireplace and the table and chairs on the other side.
Okay. Cool.
But nothing other than like various just like decorations, nothing really of note.
I really want to go into one of those doors.
Yeah, sounds
I
like
think we all should.
Let's do
sounds
it.
like they have pinpointed a door. Go
Before
ahead.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I was at 19 on my investigation.
19 on your investigation. You find a journal in which you don't find like a single journal, but you find passages in journals where Descartes describes using the guns for his various assassinations, and you just kind of like either grab all those journals or just like rip out the pages of those journals, so that you just have like a small collection of times that he talks about it over a brief period of time. And it definitely, that little stack of passages will be of extreme use to anybody trying to use those guns.
Yeah, I grabbed those, meaning to give them to Auburn later on.
Cool. All right, so you all head up to the staircase to the right side with the 3 doors. I'll say with Kelfie's added sensory perception, the quartet of animals are able to pinpoint the stench of the toad-like creature to the middle of the 3 doors.
Can I, right before we go up the stairs, just cast alarm, like right in front of the door?
Sure, yeah.
I check the door for any sort of like trap or symbol that would
Make an investigation check.
indicate some sort of fuckery. Man, balls. That's a 12.
You don't notice any traps or anything, but you do hear heavy breathing on the other side of the door.
Okay.
I like
I
as
don't
like,
want to anymore.
listen to the door and don't hear like a whole lot. I just back up and I look at everybody and very quietly I'm like, can we just light it on fire?
I want this whole place to burn down
I mean,
Why? Oh wait, I
because
can't
we're
talk.
inside it.
I can't talk. You
Because
just hear
we're
me go.
inside it. Because we're inside it is a very good reason.
I mean,
It is.
Let's think about this. Let's think about this for a second. You open that door. It's definitely on this other side. I hear heavy breathing and it smells like shit. So if we open that door, we're gonna have to fight it, and likely, like, it's entirely possible that one of us gets swallowed whole. Like, it is possible. I watched what happened. It was bad.
I don't know, but like 7-on-1 is different.
like
You
our
can
than
always
odds.
run away.
It swallowed a man whole.
But that was
I think
one
we'll be
man.
fine. I think
Do
we'll be fine.
do I know enough about the spell having done identify to know like if it is even possible to burn down a pocket dimension like this?
What? Before you say that, I see you thinking that, and I go, for the record, I'm not talking about this whole place. I'm talking about literally let's light this door on fire and let this room burn.
Yeah, you're super good at controlled burns, you medieval character.
Yeah.
I would say
You don't even know how to use a
that- I would say I would need to look into that, but I think that you would burn it all down and it would all disappear and then it would just reappear the next time you cast it. Is what I think would happen.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
that's the move, Elbert.
Yeah,
If-
that's
if
not.
someone-
Love the
However,
initiative.
what I will
Love the
point
initiative.
out is that it is weird that a creature is in this mansion when it is not being cast. As in, when the spell, you know from the spell Magnificent Mansion that when the spell ends, anything that is a living creature with inside of it should be sent outwards.
Oh, so it's not. Maybe 11.
So something magical is tying this creature to this mansion. And you
Okay.
also, I will remind Elburn that the creature had one of those red medallions around its neck. So
Creature had one of those
it's
medallions.
so it is possible. It's possible that the creature won't. It's possible that you have control over the creature.
Possible that we have control over the creature, and then I come out of a trance and I just go, "Ugh, what the fuck?
Why
If
don't we
someone-
open the door, see what's on the other side? What were we going to say, Pharaoh?
I was gonna say if someone needs to be swallowed, it should be me.
Oh my
boy.
god.
Is that something
Oh,
that
God.
Drigo has told you?
Emo.
No,
I did
it
not
just-
know that emo pharaoh would be.
whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, that was one step too far.
All right, what's going on, guys?
All
Let's
right,
go
let's
in.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Avra, before we go in, I'm going to give you this ring, and I'm going to cast Warding Bond. Try to stay within 60 feet of me.
Okay.
You get a +1 to your AC and saving throws, and you have resistance to all damage.
Oh,
I
thank
draw my
you.
60 feet of her and stand behind the door, like at the ready to stab.
All right.
Yeah, I've got my.
All right. You
I would
open
like
the
to
door. Go. Okay.
Hold my
Go ahead.
pounce.
All right.
I just want to be in my little pounty.
Alrighty. All of you can't just like jump through this door. So who is
I'm back.
waiting at the fucking door?
I can
I'm
be in the
back.
front if
I'll
we
wait
get.
it, yeah.
I'll be at the front.
Okay, great.
I was gonna say me as
Um,
my large creature also
shield
probably
up.
would not be. Anyone else and me probably isn't. So Atticus, if you're shoving your way there, then I won't hold my
All
pounce
right.
because I can't do anything.
It's just so funny. All 7 people just like.
We just get stuck.
All right, so
No.
you so you open this door, and it does open outwardly, so it's like really awkward. You all have to kind of like scoot back a little
Ah,
bit as
shit.
the door's
Ah,
open.
fuck.
It is a dark room, save for a single torch on the far wall that illuminates a mound of green, slimy muscle that is currently crouched, sitting on the ground with its knees in its chest. It is a large, probably like 7 foot tall at its full height, creature with very thin legs and arms, a very rotund belly, and as soon as it reaches the shoulders, like the hole across the shoulders is just the bottom of a mouth. and there's a huge, gigantic mouth, and then two eyes of like a toad or a frog that are kind of perched on top of the mouth, and a red medallion that hangs on the shoulders just below the mouth, and it is currently just sitting there, crouched in the corner, breathing heavily, chained to the wall by two chains on both of its legs.
Kill it.
Slowly walk towards it. My shield raised.
Same.
I'm staying outside the door until everybody
Follow.
goes.
I want to hold up the medallion and see if
It stops.
the creature
It
has a
stops, and just focuses on you.
rate.
I switch and draw my longbow and stand very far away. Like I'm like right in the door and just like
It's just
How
it's
far away is it?
it's about 20 feet away. It's from the door entrance of the door. It just closes its mouth and looks up at you expectantly.
I didn't think that this would work.
I want to cast Divine Sense.
Yeah,
See if
that's
it's a celestial fiend or undead.
It is neither of those things.
It's not a celestial fiend or undead.
Good to
I want
know.
I don't care, it's
to
gross.
cast the detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts.
Nice.
You challenge your channel. Thank you. I was like, what am I doing? You channel your thoughts into this creature, and what you hear are Avra's thoughts as she is saying, "I didn't expect this to work. What do I do? What does this medallion do?"
All of a sudden, just like recursive, like feedback. just
Yeah,
like,
exactly. yeah.
Ow! I let Neighbor know that the creature's thoughts are her thoughts.
And it actually, and with that spell, I will say that, like, I don't know if this is something that is whatever with the spell, but for flavor, you notice no other presence in that creature other than the thoughts of Avra. Almost as if it is like a shell of a, like
Right,
an organic shell that is powered by the thoughts of whoever holds these medallions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that whoever has the medallions has control over this creature, and I don't think that it's like I think this is like an organic construct of something. I don't.
How sure are
like,
you of
Its
that?
thoughts are your thoughts that you were thinking. You were just thinking that this. You didn't expect this to work, and it was thinking that. So,
It's just a shell of its former self.
if it ever was a former,
I know the
Funny.
feeling.
Damn it, arrow, and I unnock my arrow as soon as he starts getting angsty. God damn it, Pharaoh.
All right.
Like try thinking a command at it, or tell it to do something.
Sit.
It is sitting.
You did it. You did it.
up.
Wow!
It stands up.
Wow.
I'm gonna go up to it and touch it
Nothing happens. It's just a little slimy.
and
Right.
cast Identify.
Yeah, I guess that's the first time it's been done on a creature, but you are able to do that on a creature, aren't you?
I think,
If it is a magic item
if
or
it's
some
magic.
other, if it's a magic imbued object, you learn its properties.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, okay, because he said it was a
if the
construct.
item was
and so-
created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Oh, if you
Uh,
instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Okay. So what I will say is there is no spell. Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, there's literally nothing
Can't.
you can deem from. Yeah, gleam. I mean, I
Okay.
should say. Yeah, sorry.
I don't like that it's being controlled by these medallions.
I don't either, but I also don't want to like kill it.
You don't?
No.
No, I mean it doesn't seem like it wants to do us any harm. It seems like it was doing people harm because of who was controlling it, right?
Well, maybe it's like Gustav and Sam. If we kill it, it'll just go back to its home.
We could give Elburn a new pet. because just to fill out a roster of pets.
Yeah, it seems like Elburn wants to keep this guy as a pet.
Albert wants to. Yeah, I don't want to.
What if I?
Light a fire.
Okay, crazy idea. What if we destroy the medallions?
And then it would probably
Use
run
the
rampant.
mansion.
I think we'll be stuck here. Maybe we destroy its medallion.
Destroy its medallion.
We just
Pull out my wallet again.
Or what if I
take the
just try
medallion
to
off
take
of
it
it?
off of it?
It
Maybe
might go
we
crazy
don't.
then.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't
I
know
will
what it is
say,
without the medallion.
I will say, Rev does know that he did not detect a conscious presence of another being.
I
I'm
think
gonna
Even
very slowly and carefully take the medallion off of it.
I'm
The
not gonna
body
do
of
it.
the creature in front of you falls lifeless to the ground.
Oh, cool.
Try
That
put it
was a
back
lot.
Oh,
I'm
well,
gonna put it back on.
Put that medallion on Elburn.
Ooh,
I pull out my phone.
Whoa.
Pull it right out. I'm like, ah.
I do want to see what happens if I put it back on it.
You put the medallion back on the creature, it begins to glow again, and the creature stands up and then looks at you expectantly.
Yeah, I
how
don't like
fickle
this.
life is.
Haven't done anything we can't undo. All right.
So what's
Does
the
it
move
look-
here?
Does it look like the same medallion?
Yeah.
I think we.
I should say it does look slightly different. I mean, it
think-
looks
can
practically
you-
the same, but
Can you identify this medallion, Avery?
That's from
I
the same
already
collection.
did.
no, you didn't
medallion
identify.
on the frog.
Yeah, the one on the
His
frog.
medallion.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I'll say with the spell that you cast earlier, so you don't have to waste another spell slot with the one where you touch the creature.
Yeah.
You identified his medallion, and it is purely like a magical receiver to the medallions of your type.
Okay.
I
So
think we take the medallion off this thing. I don't like it being controlled.
I don't either. So then
Yeah.
I'm.
But maybe I don't know if keep it around is like if we can use it to like protect us.
Or
Yeah,
just
I
send
mean,
it into
for
the
now-
dragon's lair and maybe try to use it as bait.
Yeah.
It does seem like if we just leave it here like this, they could make another medallion.
It's also like
Who's they?
I mean, Peeldor, his people.
Oh,
Yeah, we
I
have
was
no
like, the
idea
other
who
ones are
has-
dead.
it's not like
access
we're
to this
like
mansion.
enslaving a creature like Peeldor was to the twins. Like this.
It's just. I say we keep it.
Medallion or the creature?
The creature. Both.
We don't know how
You
many
think
more
we could-
medallions are out there. You know?
You also have 6 more rooms in this mansion, or 5 more rooms in this mansion.
I think we need to remove it from the mansion, or else whoever has other medallions and access to this mansion will be able to control it. If
We need to
we're
definitely-
keep it alive. I am
Definitely
also,
remove that from the. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I am of the opinion that we should also throw it in the ocean, but I think I might be outvoted on that.
I don't think we're nearby any oceans. I was looking
I
for
can be
cliffs
convinced.
earlier and I did not see an ocean.
Damn it, we're not high enough up, are we?
No.
No.
What if we at least use it to help us search the rest of this mansion?
Yes.
Protect us from anything else that might be in here.
All
It's not
right.
a bad idea.
I'll. You said it's chained up.
It is, yes. The
Can
keys
I
are the keys are just hanging on the wall.
I'll unchain it.
Okay.
That's devious.
I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna look at it and say, "Do you have a name?"
It does not respond.
We should give it a name.
I think it's better that we don't name it. I feel like it's
Okay.
weirder to
Yeah.
enslave a creature that has a name.
Yes.
Vote for
Snor-
Nor.
Snort.
I'm gonna tell
don't.
it to lead us to search all the rooms in the mansion. So that
Okay.
it's just the first one that goes in everywhere.
It leaves the room and then it goes to the door, which
I would tell it to go to the
We
next
go to
closest
the next
door.
room.
Yeah.
well,
go to
you're in
next
the so
closest
you're
door.
on the you're in the middle of 3 doors on this side of the mansion.
Okay.
So,
I would
so
just-
would you go to the one closest to the entrance, further away from the staircase, or the one closer to the staircase, just so I know what's in it?
I'd go to the one furthest from the staircase first.
So you open that room, and immediately a stench hits you
Hmm.
of rotting flesh.
Fun.
Well, whatever, I'll just say what it is. The Banderhob walks through the door, and just stands in the entrance of the door. You are able to walk in, and you see basically what can only be deemed as a torture room, drenched in red torchlight. On the table closest to the entrance of the room, you see a large wooden table with various sharp instruments on it, as well as a stack of about 4 of the medallions that the Banderhob is wearing.
Wow.
In the center of the room, you see 2 chairs, and then on the far side of the room, you see a pile of some kind of leather fabric, and then beyond that, a pile of like some wood splinters. It looks like from here, and then in the 2 chairs are 2 humanoid bodies, completely skinned from the toes to the bottom of their neck. Their faces still showing the face of Hank and Horace.
No. Oh my god.
And they just sit motionless in the chair with their eyes wide and 2 medallions falling over their necks.
Oh god, so are they like controllable?
Are they dead? I'm guessing they're dead, but I'll check.
You do a medicine check, and those are definitely corpses.
Can I do I'll do another divine sense to see if they've been turned to undead.
Yeah, you don't sense any undead. No.
But
as soon as Avra or Rev, just real quick, as soon as Avra or Rev enters the room, both of them look to the 2 of you, with their eyes focused on you.
No!
I would take the medallions off their
take
necks
the medallion off
immediately.
them immediately. Just
also, as you get closer, the pile of leather fabric is indeed a pile of human skin, and the pile of wood splinters are various bones that have been pulled out of their bodies in strategic locations. Most of them are ribs or other non-walking supportive bones.
Are they still alive?
They are not alive, no.
Okay.
But they behave towards you the same way the Vanderhop does, until the medallions are taken off. Yeah.
If we're gonna
Just
burn a
as
room, I
quickly
think
as
we should start with this one.
Awesome. I light a fire.
Hold on.
All right. I guess let's go check the next room.
Damn it! I want to.
You check the next room on this
Zach.
side. Yes, go ahead.
Before we leave, I want to do a quick scan of any like same as I did out there of like weaponry. Is there anything?
Not of note in here. No.
Not anything that was like Horace or Hank's.
No, their items are not in this room.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
take
no
the
problem.
other whatever medallions were there. I don't know if anybody else grabbed them, but if they did, I would grab them.
Yeah, okay.
Just
There's
goes to
4
show-
more medallions. Well, 4 and then 2 more, so 6 total.
So 6 total.
Yeah.
Did
Just
we
goes
get
to
rid of the
show
Bandersnooch one?
He's
Fair.
wearing
The
it. He's helping us
Vanderhob.
look around.
Pharaoh, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say it just goes to show how inconsequential life is.
Jesus Christ! I'm glad I asked.
Thank you for coming back again.
You're welcome.
It's existential.
You continue to the
Dread.
other room on this side, and as always, for the second time, the Banderhob walks through the door, and you see a very dimly lit bedroom. The bed, the door.
They're siblings.
The door says Davis Sunstride, and as you open the door to Davis' room, her bed is simply a mattress with no coverings, and a single pillow. She has a set of dresser drawers, and a nightstand next to her room. Next to her bed, I should say. On the bed, On the bed,
How did all those parts get inside?
on the bed is a dirty, grimy teddy bear. There is it looks to maybe be a sack underneath the bed. And there is also a crystal orb sitting on top of the nightstand.
I
Dibs.
think this mansion's a bit of a fixer-upper. It's got great curb appeal, but
I think we need to burn that bear.
I'll go up to the orb and just
Dibs.
make an Arcana check or
maybe don't touch the orb.
I've already touched it. I have dibs.
You as soon as you
He touched it.
as soon as you touch the orb, the cloudy surface of the orb kind of dissipates, and beyond it, you just see a blue, dark blue expanse that is suddenly alit by a large, glowing yellow eye with a big slit in the middle of it that is just staring at you.
Does it look like a dragon eye?
Oh, it does
Would
not
I
look like.
know?
Oh, yeah, you would know, and it does not look like a dragon eye.
Cool.
Does it look like
We
the
all
eye
see
is
this? It's the
It's the
smiling?
Kraken.
Does it look happy?
You do see. You do all see it. Yeah, you're all able to
Okay.
see it.
You
Look
can
at
tell
this.
if it's someone's smiling by looking at their eyes. Does it look
Put
like mad?
that-
It
Oh, it's
does.
amazing.
It is one eye, and it's hard to tell.
Put that shit down right
I'll-
now.
cast Identify on it.
I'd knock it out of her hand.
It is a crystal orb that is basically acts as a window between the designed locations of the object. But with Identify, you can't tell where the locations are. You just know the
Okay.
purpose of the spell.
Well,
Now I'll put
Sauron
it
knows
down.
where we are now. So.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
poke it.
knows.
It's just a hard orb.
So-
Oh, also, as soon as you approach the nightstand, the teddy bear turns to look at you.
Nope.
No.
I set it on fire. I
Hey,
don't.
buddy.
I light the torch. I set it on fire.
If you do that, the bear begins to burn.
Good.
In some
I-
ways,
I
we're all
look at everyone
doing
and
it.
I go,
Does he
"No one
look
is
like he's
stopping
in pain?
No, the bear's just sitting there.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Sitting there burning.
It's a magical item to waste, but whatever.
This is the worst.
I
haunted
think
house
I know
I've
what
ever
it
been
was,
in.
but yeah.
Does anybody do anything with the sack?
I look in
Under
it.
the bed.
I'll look in the sack.
The sack
Is there
is
a fireplace
the
in this
s-
room that we can put the burning bear so it's not burning on a bed?
There is not a fireplace in this room. There's just a burning bear on a bed.
I poke him with my rapier and I'm holding it. Like,
Okay, yeah. It slowly disintegrates off of your
Yeah.
rapier. You look at Atticus. You grab the bag. It looks like a bag of holding, but it's like covered in fur.
Yeah, put your face in.
It's covered in fur and very stinky.
Ew.
the bag of devouring.
Oh my
Should
god.
I reach my hand into it? Should
Yeah,
I,
definitely reach your hand into it.
I think you should.
I think you should.
That's what
should we
happens
vote?
before.
Let's vote. Should I reach my hand into this bag?
If you
Do
want, I
it.
could.
If you don't,
yeah,
I
you
will.
should.
No,
What'll
you shouldn't.
be fun about this is that you'll lose your vote next time because your hand is involved.
All right. You reach your hand into the bag. I need you to roll
Yes.
A new character.
3d20s.
3d20.
Yup.
Oh, it's fine. That'll do 2 damage to his overall fucking health.
How many fingers are you gonna lose?
All of them.
34.
You go ahead and roll it, Atticus.
Roll what?
3d20s.
3d20s.
3 natural 20s.
This is how Zach's gonna
I ro-
kill Atticus so that Eric can leave.
I rolled a 20, and I rolled a 1, and I rolled a 6. So 27.
As you reach into the bag, you start to feel movement, and it kind of startles you, and you pull your hand out of the bag, and 27 rats pour out of this bag and start crawling on the ground and running
Nope,
in
nope,
various
nope,
different
nope.
directions.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm enamored. I love
It's
this.
Yeah, Kelpie loves it. I would hate it.
much better than it could be.
Eric, you
Can
can
I-
put that in your inventory as a bag of endless rats.
Nice.
Casual.
I have so many ideas.
Elburn fully looks at the orb, looks at the bag, looks at the burning teddy bear on the end of the rapier, and he goes, "Put that orb down. That's fucked up." I turn around and leave.
I already put it
Walk out
down.
of the room.
I want to grab the bag again and do it again. Is it just 3d20s every
Yeah,
time?
3d20. Yeah.
Can we-
Another 19, 20, another 25 rats come out.
Yep.
Oh,
Just
all right.
confetti.
I will say, I won't make. I'll just assume identify as eventually. You can do this 3 times a day.
Okay. So it's not bad.
And
We gotta find a reason.
if it
Leave
is,
it open for as long
and I'll
as
just
you
let
want.
you know this because it's fun. If it is destroyed or turned inside out, as Bag of Holdings are wont to do, it is 6d100 rats that are released.
We could take over like a city.
Let's just sick the rats on the dragon.
Honestly, though.
Turn the bag inside out
No,
and
no,
throw
no.
it.
I'm gonna turn it and like if
I'm
anybody's
really
got like a
disappointed
gun,
that we could have
Hundred
as few as 6 rats.
A kamehameha of rats. Just
We were gonna fight you, Xavier.
Oh
Get
my
go.
God.
Take
Xavier's
out my
biggest fear
flute,
is
go
rats.
into town.
Oh, Pied Piper!
Okay, so
Oh my God.
seems like
Right
everyone's.
on that.
I'll just say in her dresser drawers are just various dark linens. She seemed to be a very gothic emo individual.
Of
So
course
Pharaoh,
not.
you might find a new wardrobe.
Yeah, I put on a t-shirt and some pants.
Panic at the Disco.
It says it says
Dress.
I love Erubrion, but like there's a heartbreak where the heart is.
Oh my God.
So Ava, I'm assuming you lead the Vanderhop to the 3 rooms on the other side.
Correct.
The first room is Dakar Sunstride's bedroom. It's because you were the person who has been looking out for them the most. Ray, immediately you notice over the bed of Dakar Sunstride is a large metal rifle that sits above his bed. He also has a set of drawers and a nightstand. In his room, he has it's first of all, it's much more well lit and ornate. The bed has velvet and silk emerald greens on it with gold trimming. There's the large rifle right above the bed. The nightstand has a like thin foil crown on it that seems to be like almost as if it was made by a child. And then there is also a monocle on the nightstand.
What if I put the crown on my head?
It does
And I
require.
go, look, guys.
You have a wizard, so you cast identify on these. The crown, once attuned to, will become like an unornate gold circlet. It makes the wearer extremely confident and increases the view that they have of themselves and grants them a +2 on all charisma-based rolls. The monocle is a monocle of farsight that also needs to be attuned to. It basically, like, I forget the actual definition of farsight, but it's like almost double your vision. It allows you to see much further than you normally would be able to, which makes sense as he was the gunslinger. And that is able to be, I think that is an attuned item as well. And then there's the rifle above the bed.
I go to the rifle.
Yeah.
I like try to get it off the wall.
It comes right off the wall.
Look,
Before you keep messing with those here, you might want to read these, and I hand him like the sheafs of paper that I have. That, like he's got some stories about like how these things kind of how he used them. So maybe just handy to have if you're gonna be the one who keeps playing with these things. Safety first.
Yeah, and maybe it makes sense that you have this monocle too.
what is it? What? It's just a monocle, and I put the monocle like on my
Far out
eye.
monocle.
I do that thing that takes way
Far
too
out
long.
monocle.
Yeah. I'm really trying to squint it on. Yeah. And it is definitely like it takes you a second to get used to it because one eye is seeing has the ability to see much further. But yeah.
Immediately get nauseous.
Yeah.
It's like this. Yeah, this is pretty. This is pretty good. That's pretty good, guys.
Zach, what was the
Should
circlet
Pharaoh
called?
wear this crown? I think he needs the.
The circlet, I don't know if it'll be in your inventory or an option for your inventory, but it is called a crown of the false king is what it's called.
Badass.
So
Yeah, that would be perfect for me, a false king.
Oh my god.
Pharaoh, oh my
Jesus.
god! I
Do we need
almost
to-
preferred it when you were saying bullshit, terrible things.
Do you need to talk it out? Do you need to get something off your chest, Pharaoh? Do we need to huddle up?
What do you mean? Everything's fine.
That's not.
I'm gonna walk over to him and I'll like take it off my head and I'll put it on his head.
That looks
It'll take you a
great.
while
It looks
to
really
attune to it,
good.
but once
It
you do
looks
attune to it,
good.
you will feel a lot better about yourself.
Do
Okay.
you want it? You look really good in it.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't really feel like a king, but maybe I'll
I
help
think
out.
you're a king.
Or-
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
I'm gonna put my hands on Pharaoh's shoulder and be like, Pharaoh, you're the best of us.
Truly.
Well, I mean,
I'll just
Elbern.
Why we shouldn't give Elburn the crown.
definitely not.
Put it
Oh
on
god,
needed.
no.
Maybe if we give
Fire
Elbern
the
the crown, he'll be
upgrade.
normal.
Just
Whoa.
evens him out.
No, he'll probably destroy
I
the town
instantly
again.
take off the crown off Farrah's head and put it on Albert. Just to see.
Not yet.
No, not as good.
No,
No.
looks better on
Okay,
Pharaoh.
I'll take it off and put it on.
Yeah.
Pharaoh. Fashion
Okay,
show.
so should we continue to the? Or should we? I guess we have more rooms,
What
right?
kind of clothes he
Two
got?
more.
All right, so you go to the middle room. It is completely dark, except for a single torch, and
Can I
a.
see in there with my spooky eyes?
You sure can,
Yes.
and you What's that? Try to see if I don't think there's anything of note that you see, but there is
There's
just
nothing in here.
there is a single. There's something in the center of the room. I don't know if you would be able to see. That just has a black cloth over it. Would you be able to see through that black cloth? I think you would, maybe.
Magical darkness, but I don't know. Like,
No, it's not. Yeah, it's,
yeah.
not, it's just literally just a black cloth that's over
Oh.
something.
yeah.
Can you see through walls with double sight?
No, I can't see through walls. No,
Okay,
no.
I was trying to. I think I'm getting etherealness mixed up with that.
Yeah, with ethereal or
Uh,
the true sight. Yeah.
Yeah,
So no, I can't
so
see
so no, it's just a dark room with a single torch, lighting a object, tall
Kinda
object.
just like
It's yeah. You do a little peek. It's a standing
peek,
mirror.
peek. A standing mirror.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's probably a cursed mirror in here, just based on the vibe.
For sure.
Super.
should we shatter it?
Just based
No.
on the vibe. Either that or
Or just
somebody
leave it.
died in their city.
Go
secret,
ahead
but I
and
don't
make-
think that was what they were about.
Rev, make a perception check.
Oh god.
Also,
I want to put
following
dancing
everybody
lights
and
up in
reading.
here so it
Yeah,
lights up
but
the
yeah,
place.
super well lit
So I
there.
can see. Yeah.
I'm like not paying attention to
Pretty.
24.
Ooh, 24. Even with that small peak, you see that the mirror is not. Surprisingly enough, the mirror is not reflecting the black cloth. Through the mirror, you see just bright white light, and you hear heavy wind. But in your slow peak, that's all you're able to see.
I'm gonna. Oh well, if you do you tell us that?
Looks like this is like a looking mirror to like a different place. Maybe like wind. It's really bright under here. Like, but yeah, I
Should we
don't know.
take a bigger peek?
Should I? I'm gonna tell
Can we
the.
hold hands first for safety?
Yes.
You all
I
hold
like drawing my
hands,
bow.
and the Banderhob takes off the cloth from the mirror. I knew where you're going. And the Bander, you all are in a semicircle of holding hands. The Banderhob walks over, takes off the cloth. You all see it's you have to adjust your eyes at first because it's very bright. But you see a snow and ice covered landscape that is just seems to go on endlessly for a bit. And then you start hearing loud thuds.
No.
and a large blue scaled creature enters in the viewing of this mirror. So large that you cannot see anything really other than just the side of the torso of this creature and some of the back of the thick muscular thigh of the back right leg. Thank you.
scaled.
However, even with the little bit that you see, the blue scales
Yeah.
are very familiar to you,
Yeah.
especially to you, Kelpie.
Yup.
And there is a slight sliding sound as a smiling, smirking Xavier slides down the
Oh my God.
hide of the dragon and comes into view of the mirror.
I don't like this.
And he slowly walks up to the mirror.
Mm.
Well.
Somebody put the thing down.
I suppose the sun strides weren't as successful as I thought they might be. No matter. They bought the time that I needed. And he reaches back, kind of pats the large creature behind him.
His butt.
Is
You
there
just
a
are-
medallion around the dragon's neck? Can we tell?
There is not a medallion around it. You can't see the dragon's neck.
Mhm.
He kind of looks
Can
to the. Yeah, if you guys are gonna do something, yeah, go ahead.
Can
Oh,
I
I-
shoot
I
an
think-
arrow in the?
I was gonna say I take the butt of the rifle and I just swing it at the mirror as hard as I can.
Could you?
The mirror shatters. And
Albert.
Way to go,
You
Albert!
keep breaking all the
You
cool
gotta stop,
stuff.
man.
Here's the
You could
thing.
really use this.
um,
I wanted to see if I could get an
there's
arrow.
an echo of a long sigh as the you see, like, as you're starting to see it, Xavier like puts up a hand, and then you shatter it, and then there's just a flash of white light, and none of you see anything.
Mm.
Like,
And then
It's
all of a
just
sudden,
God.
whiteness, white out.
okay.
And then
Oh.
all of a sudden, you lift yourself up off the snowy ground, and you are now
Fuck me.
in the middle of the woods where you entered
Oh.
the mansion.
Oh, okay. Oh
Okay.
God.
The door burns and starts to fall as the medallions that all of you have around you shatter.
Yeah.
And the
Where's the Bandersnooch?
Vanderhoob's lifeless body,
Vanderhoobs.
as well as Hank
Oh.
and Horace's lifeless body,
Oh,
lay
ew.
on the ground in front of you.
Why did
The
they come?
rifle is
Kicks things
gone.
out.
Oh.
Anything else that you grabbed from the mansion is gone. As they
God damn it.
as they burn away, but they don't
Mm.
burn. They just burn away, having not properly left the mansion.
I'm
Elburn,
glad you did that, Elburn. I couldn't bear to look at myself in the mirror.
You weren't even
Look at
seeing
what the
yourself.
Yourself.
Buddy, having been inside your body, I need to tell you, you
Ah.
got some shit to talk about.
Yeah.
The tension is crazy. You gotta,
Someone please give me a massage.
Elburn, can you look before you leap once? Just one
Just
time.
once.
Ask
I
the
go,
group.
I like put my hands out and I start to say something, and I'm like, okay, I need like 5 minutes because everything I'm about to say is gonna be rude.
Yeah, go take 10, man.
And I do.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
go,
do
and
what
I
you
walk-
gotta do.
I like walk in the opposite direction, and like out of sight of everybody,
Yeah.
just like in a straight line.
I totally understand. So the bag of endless rats, the crown, go ahead and take those out of your inventory.
The sheafs of paper that
The
teach
sheets
us how
of
to
paper,
gun.
yeah, those aren't there
He
anymore.
just had a gun.
Books
But
that
you
would
do
tell
still
us
have
what's
you do still
happening.
have the 2 pistols
Yep.
though.
What
You
about
do
the
still have
books
those.
that were?
Yeah, you try to
my-
conjure the books from the bags, and they're not in there anymore.
What?
It's not, and this is something that like you knew about the spell, Abra.
Yeah. Okay.
You knew that stuff could not be taken out of the mansion unless
Oh.
given specific permission.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said that this bander.
And all that
What is
requires
it?
that specific
Bander-
mission is walking out the front door with it.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
What'd you say?
It's the Banderhoot, right?
The
Hob, what
Vanderhop.
is it?
Vanderhop.
Vanderhop.
And what I will say, because Ava, you are an arcane user, you know that
Mhm.
Elburn shattering the mirror is not what caused that to happen.
No.
What
Yeah,
caused that
it
to happen
was
is Xavier ended the spell.
Xavier.
Okay, yeah.
Xavier must have
Ah.
had a medallion that was more powerful than the other ones. Obviously, he would have that safe. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
hard to believe. And then he shattered the spell and then shattered the use of any other medallions. So the mansion does still exist. It's just, and everything that you found still exists. It's
Did you hear
just
that? Hear
in the
that? DM
mansion.
said it wasn't my fault.
Well, I mean,
Mean.
Too much of a coincidence for me.
would Xavier have done that if the mirror wasn't shattered? Who knows?
Well, you know, good thing we spent the whole time we have Atticus here on nothing.
We didn't even get to see the last room.
I had a bag of endless rats. That's gone.
Yeah.
You did learn
Underwear
quite a
would be
bit.
nice.
You learned quite a bit for sure.
We didn't get to see the last room though. I'm
Knowledge is
sad.
power. You did not get to see the last room. No joke was my favorite room in the house.
Oh.
However, I will alleviate some pain and say that there was nothing no crazy item. It was just simply cool to describe.
It mattered if there was any crazy items.
Was there any?
True.
Well,
Unless we walked
I
out the
won't
door.
ask because we might go back maybe sometime, so I won't ask now. But
We don't have any
Um,
medallions, even the ones that we took from the twins.
You do have them. They're just shattered.
Oh,
What about the
so-
6 that I had? Are they shattered?
You do not have them. It's just the
That's
2
good.
medallions from the twins and the one that the Vanderhop was wearing. Yeah. Also, the Vanderhop came with you with the 2. Sorry, Hank and Horace did not come with you.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. Yeah. ew.
You were actively controlling the Vanderhop, and so that's
Yeah.
why he came
Mm.
with you.
Okay.
Well, overall, could have
I
gone
think-
worse.
I think we need to go straight to the dragon.
Yeah.
I think time is of the essence.
yeah,
I still think we go to the Great Tips.
I think your judgment is clouded on that.
Yeah, Atticus, talk about. Say more.
I feel like that we can use the Great Tips to help us against Pildor and the dragon.
You
Yeah.
think we could use the gray tips?
And now we've got this gross.
But do
thing to show
you,
them.
or do you not, also want to kill someone there?
Oh.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, I just wanted to publicly put that out
I mean,
there.
how?
I also think we could use their help, and yeah, I could use gain some knowledge from them, but I also think we could use them against Pildor and the dragon.
Porque no las dos.
I mean, I don't
I
think
don't
they'll work
speak
with us if.
Elvish.
Is that celestial?
Yeah,
Yeah,
speak
that's
that.
celestial
Ah, man.
Spanish.
celestial Spanish.
The
I
language
just
of love.
don't think if you kill one of them, they'll work well with us. So
I could kill him later.
Also a good
Or
point.
maybe
could
not even kill him
probably-
at all. I just want some information. I just want to know the whys and the who's and the
Mhm.
whats.
Well, do you think at this point we've we've used a day. Do you think maybe they're already headed to the dragon at this point?
I have no idea.
Ray, what do you think?
I mean, they wouldn't go without.
Their
If they
people?
were meeting Mutt, they are not going to just go
Yeah.
without Mutt and them.
That's true.
they would at least wait a little bit to see when he shows up, and then probably go looking for him, which would take a day or so. And
Dang it! We should have grabbed Mutt's head and
I
then put it
still-
on one of us.
I just
and then
don't
we
think
could have
that-
been-
I mean,
Oh,
we
wow.
could have
And then we
just
could have been
disguised
Mutt?
ourselves.
Yeah.
You should have
Yeah.
cut
Or
off
his-
Mutt's face.
This is like Mission Impossible where we put his face on our face. Just-
Yeah, that seems like it could work.
I don't
I
love
draw
that
a line.
idea.
I
You
tried.
kind of
into
don't
it
like the
now.
Great Tips. I also don't condone wearing their skin.
Yeah,
That's good.
we have
That's
like
good that you have a
spells-
and
line.
look where that's got you.
Well, we
Nowhere.
have spells that you could
You
just
have
like
to leave it
look
for.
like him. We don't have to wear his face.
Rev could look like Mutt.
I think
Why
I
would
could
we-
tomorrow.
I,
Why would
yeah,
we
I, can,
not-
I can look like any of them.
Why are we trying to be Mutt?
Practical effects are better though.
I mean, I think
I also have the ability to do that. I've got a disguise kit on top of.
Why
being
do we
able
want to be Mutt?
It's the best of both worlds.
Because
It's like the newer
they won't
movies where you get to
believe.
have like some practical effect and the CGI. I get to do both. Okay.
Yeah, but if we lie
Enhance.
about like Mutt, they're gonna wonder where the other 6 people are.
Pharaoh's a
They're
fan of
gonna-
the original trilogy.
They're gonna wonder that when we get there
If they
anyway.
find out we're lying, it's gonna be worse than if we just went to them
yeah,
with
I
the
think
truth
that
in
we
the beginning.
should. I think that we should tell the truth because the best way to get them to really help us is to be honest with them and tell them all the information that we have.
Will they
We don't
believe
know what's
us?
going on any more than they
Don't-
do.
Don't tell them that Elburn is a 1,000-year-old.
keep that,
superpowerful
definitely.
Wizard. Maybe leave that out. But
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like they're gonna have the same reaction that Mutt had and not want to do anything with us and just kill this one dragon and be like, bye.
Well, all of the dragons we now
Fine, too.
have seen are potentially connected to Pildor.
Yes.
So if their enemy is this dragon, then we have the same enemy.
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
It's a dragon.
For
Is a
this one dragon, I
It's a
think trying to
dragon.
convince them to defeat Pildor is going to be a lot. And if they know that Pildor hates us and is also involved in all these dragons, I don't think that they'll trust us much to believe that Pildor is the one that killed all their friends and not us.
I mean, I think that that's a chance we're definitely going to take if that's what we do.
I mean, we can vote again, either going to the Grey Vanguards or the dragon. Could sleep on it again, even though it's probably only like 10 a.m.
How far are we away from like HQ and then like the dragons? Do we know? Like,
Yeah,
time-wise?
Ray would know that from it would be about the same from it's the distance from the base of the Grey Tip Mountains. You don't know exactly where the dragon is, so you would just head just like near the HQ but not at the HQ, so it's pretty much the same distance. You're like could travel for the rest of the day and then would camp one more night and then would probably get to the base of the Grey Tip Mountains a little bit into the night of the second night.
If we went to like hunt the dragon, or is that for the Great Tip Vanguards?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It just
maybe
depends
we-
on if you want to veer this way towards
Right.
the HQ or veer that way towards the. You could like because you can currently see the Great. I mean, they're like on the horizon right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the more help we can get, the better. But it is a risk. So yeah, maybe we vote.
Yeah, let's vote.
Sure.
All right. I think we should go to the Grey Tips.
I
I
agree.
second the motion.
I third.
Any help that I think we can get.
Okay, that's majority.
It's not a very strong majority. Do we feel okay about this?
Ray, why don't you want to seek out the Great Tips?
Well, I don't want to seek out the Grey Tips when we don't have any way to prove that we didn't kill their people. I don't want that.
That's true.
Because then
Why
what?
would we kill them and then go?
And then go to them, yeah. I do feel like
Why
it's a
wouldn't
little more
we-
suspicious if they were to just find out that we went straight to the dragon later.
You don't think
Yeah,
they
but
would
we don't
believe
have
you,
to do
Ray,
it.
as a member?
No.
I mean,
That's why
I
thought
do
if one.
I do trust Ray's instinct here.
I'm just worried if we
Yeah.
fight the dragon without them, we'll all die a horrible death.
That yeah.
That's my
have
biggest
walked
worry.
Back up, by the way. I have just not said anything. I have walked back to the group and I'm just like standing behind everybody.
Elburn, Great Tips or Dragon?
Where to go next?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, can we get help from the Great Tips, or are they going to try and kill us for maybe killing their people?
Therein lies our problem.
Yeah.
See, okay, listen though.
I mean,
okay, listen
the
though.
zone of truth. We tell them that we didn't,
That's
and
true.
that would be true.
Yeah, but that would still be them believing us that we're letting the effect of this magic take effect.
Maybe
I
they
could,
get
We
somebody
don't
there
have
who can do it.
anyone to vouch for us.
We
I
could
will
bring-
say that
I-
they also don't have any proof that you did kill their friends.
Right.
Yeah.
I could talk to the dead. We could bring a corpse and I could talk to it in front of them.
Do they even know that they're dead?
I mean, I'm kind of,
No.
you know,
Well,
I think
That's
I
what
would-
I'm saying. We
is.
don't.
Yeah.
What
We got
corpse?
this thing's
If we
corpse.
don't tell them and they find out, that's much worse than if we tell them.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Literally
in my
said
opinion.
Xavier was here. Like, none of us are named Xavier.
That's a good point.
Foolproof logic. My
Yeah,
memory
I
actually
still
is
think we
Xavier.
should go to the Great Tips. I think I'm still on that opinion.
I mean, I think we could convince him if we, brought Mutt's head there and I cast Speak with Dead on it. And
No, I really don't think that we should do that.
okay,
Mutt's
I
head
might
is
just
what,
do that on my
like a
own.
half a day back, right?
If not
my
more,
God.
who knows? Because
I
the caravan was being led by headless men. It probably veered off course.
I could make a minor illusion, little picture of the wagon with the message.
Abra.
It's
I can't do that.
it's like so cool. All of these ideas are so cool, but that they're all coming from us, and there's no representation from their party that also vouches.
Well, they're dead.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I'm saying like we could
That's the
minor
problem.
illusion, but how do we know we're not minoring illusion what we say happened? How do we know
Alive,
we're not
yeah.
saying that we spoke to the dead? How do we not know that we're casting Zone of Truth? Like
Yeah.
there's no way for Mutt to be like, yeah, these guys are lit.
There's
Like,
no,
do you
there's
know
no
if they
proof
have-
either.
Do you know if they have any magic users who could cast Zone of Truth, and then they're the ones to
I-
cast it?
You don't necessarily know the capability of their magic users, but you do know that they have magic users.
I do believe I didn't care to ask anybody's personal lives when I knew them. We kind of kept to ourselves in that way. I'm assuming that there are some magic users.
I think we offer that then. I think that would be a good sign of trust.
I
you know
mean,
the Great Tips
cool.
better than any of us here.
Why would we go to them if we murdered these people?
Right.
Yeah.
None of us are
To
named.
murder more
You-
of
we
them.
don't know. You don't know. I
But
don't
we
know.
will.
Get
I'm
to
just
the zone
saying-
of truth if we
I'm
like
just
them, and
saying.
Atticus says, "No, I hate you guys." Well,
I was gonna
That
say,
is
yeah.
Atticus is a liability in the Zone of Truth.
Let's go.
Hey,
and if we
I
waste
don't need
time
the Zone of
killing a
Truth to
dragon-
tell him that I don't like him.
yeah, but then they'll. Yeah, that's true.
So you're a liability anyway.
Oh man, I don't know what to do.
I
Hey,
just,
but in a couple minutes, I'm feeling real sleepy, so I don't know if I'll be talking.
I mean, the majority
This
said we
conversation
go to
is
the
exhausting.
Great Tips.
Yeah, I'm.
So-
Let's at least
I'm-
go near the Great Tips and scope it out.
Isn't that out of the way of where the dragon is?
You don't know where
In
the
the
dragon
area.
is.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's in. They're in.
Well, I
the
thought
same
Ray had
area.
a general idea.
we had
She has a.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
get there and track.
it's within the Great Tip Mountains. You guys know that the Great Tip Vanguards had an idea of where it was.
I don't like
So we
thinking.
need them to lock that down.
How,
And even
what you might
if
be
we
thinking
go to
of?
Great Tip Mountains, I feel like they'll know that we're there since they scout out that area.
What you might be thinking of, Kelpie, is just the fact that Ray is good at tracking and would be able to find the dragon without the Great Tip's help.
Mm.
Well, we could speak with the dead with the head to tell us where we're going, Pharaoh.
Yes, I
We have
will.
to go find the
We'd have
head
to go back.
slash body or whatever.
Yeah, you would have to
Don't
double.
have the head.
You'd have to double back and search for the head. And also, you
What
didn't
about
see.
the twins.
Oh wait, no, you did see the heads. They were in their laps.
We can bring the twins' head. Doesn't have to be Mutt's head.
It's still a whole day of backtracking.
Yeah, we've been traveling since. I mean, I think majority was to go to them. So as Ivor said, we can at least head that way and figure it out as we go. And if
Yeah.
anyone that voted the other way has a change of heart, then speak so. Otherwise, I guess we're going to the Great Tips.
We can at least get on the road. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Get moving.
Yep.
All right. So as the party decides to head in the general direction of the Great Tip headquarters, we will go ahead and take a bio break. Say goodbye to our good boy Atticus.
Good
Good boy.
Who's a good boy?
We will see you.
Oh,
We will see
no.
Atticus next week. He's only going to be gone for half a session. So get up, get some hydration, get some stretching going, and we will be right back.
Make a
Goodbye.
cheese plate.
Be right back.
Bye.
Hey,